Oh yeah, what is up, family? If you can hear the boys speak, please go ahead and type in some A's in the chat. Let me get those A's in the chat if you can hear your boys speak. What is up, moderators? Samantha H, DJ Mark Roach. What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by once again. What is the chat saying? What is the chat saying? Chase Cross, Catfish Posse, what's up, man? What's up? Andrew, how you doing? T Wood, what is up, my dude? Jason Barrio, what is up, man? Steve, really happy to see everybody in here. Sebastian Lim, thanks for your donation, man. Of course, we can look at KPRX and AMC, no problem, man. And who else is in, man? What is up? What is up, Lil AR? What's up? Oh, that's Lil AR 15. I love it, man. Sure, we'll put it on the list. What is that? IONQ? IONQ. I'm not exactly sure if I'm familiar with that ticker, but no problem, man. No problem. Is that supposed to be IQNQ or is it IONQ by chance? But oh man. What's up, friends? How you doing? TJ, what is up? Chris, how you doing, man? How you doing? Yeah, but listen, we'll go ahead and add all of these tickers in the roster here, and everything will be good, you guys. Everything will be good. So we wanna let's see, man. Very interesting day today. Oof. Regarding AMC. Oh, did you guys happen to catch that GTII video I just put up? Man, Power Gear, what's up? What's up? Good to see you. Cha-Cha, what is up, man? What is poppin', my brother? How's the dog doing? Well, I don't know if you, so you never actually caught that. You never actually caught my news about it, man. My pup actually ended up passing away, my dude. So, I'm sorry that I had to tell you like this, right? But yeah, man, she's in the heavens now, and I have her ashes here dedicated in a very special place in the house, man. But thank you so much for asking. I really appreciate you keeping her in your mind, man. I couldn't be more thankful to you, my brother. Thank you. Nick, what is up, man? Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your donation, my friend. That means a great deal for us in the family. You know how that goes. So, actually, what Hound, you in here, man? I actually didn't even see that. Hound, my dude. I don't even know if I should be. You don't have to have this gear in the thing, right? You want me to just go ahead and remove it now? Is that okay? But you honestly could roam around without actually having to do anything, man. You could keep that gear if you want. I love you so much, my dude. So just know how that goes, all right? Marvin G, what is up, man? Yeah, not a problem. I was actually supposed to release a video on AMC today, but the GTII community has been in a little bit of a turmoil, right? And they're trying to understand their price actions. But nonetheless, we are going to be starting off early with AMC today too. Okay, you guys, just rest assured that we are going to be looking at that ticker as well. And as well as all the other tickers, we're going to go ahead and go over those lists. The list actually for the tickers that we're going to review shortly. We just want to go ahead and get everybody situated, get everybody up in the chat, and everything will be good, man. Jimmy, Sam, Sasha is in our hearts. Yes, man. Thank you so much, my baby girl Sasha. She's still here with us, right? She's still here in spirits. So we're really happy about that. So Chris, yeah, oh man, so sad. You say your Doberman goes down soon. Praise my dude. I am so sorry to hear that, my dude. Yes, I will keep your dog in my prayers as well, man. It's a very tough thing to do, right? You guys, so sorry to hear that, my bro. Jesse, regarding that that Apple, I'll go ahead and add it into the list, but I do have to say that judging by the early tickers and all of that stuff and the ones that I owed from yesterday, we have a little bit of a crazy schedule already, but nonetheless, we'll go ahead and put it on the schedule. Apple is in. All right, my dude. So, right, Andrew. Yes. If you didn't catch that, the video for GTII that I just put up, it's actually still, yeah. I mean, regarding the 3-day, this is the 5-day chart, right? And then the 3-day statistical analysis regarding that pump to the upside of 18. I mean, look at momentum right here, right? And we're now approaching really critical volatility. Absolutely, man. All of this stuff is still on. I'm curious to see what happened at the end of the 3-day iteration, which I think could be starting tomorrow for that new iteration, right? So I'm actually thinking that I'm not sure if actually this downside here, this this huge red candle has to do with this kink here, you know, this notch right here. I'm not sure if that actually has to do with it, but we're gonna see tomorrow how this was affected. But thus far, yeah, it's still on. It's very much still on. So let me go ahead and refer back to the chat and see what you guys are saying, man. So Catfish, I'll go ahead and add it, man. I don't know if you just heard me talk to regarding the Apple ticker, but yeah, of course. I'll make sure to leave it in the schedule for today, you guys. Really appreciate everybody for stopping by. Please make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And regarding all the questions for GTII, guys, remember, please remember that I actually just I said that I was going to release a very, very uncomfortable video, and that GTII video titled Time Fractals is absolutely something that's a little against my nature, right? You guys, I really wasn't that happy about releasing something like that. But it's all good. It's all good. It's no problem. I just want you guys to know that I'm trying to express the truth as much as I can. Catfish, thank you so much for that, man. Thank you. I'm gonna make sure to note here that you are a dono, right, man? Thank you. I appreciate it. So, guys, yes, please know that that is absolutely one of the most uncomfortable videos that I've ever had to release in my life, and I actually do not like to put myself in very uncomfortable situations like those. I hate them. And the reason why it's uncomfortable is because it's implying things that aren't actually true just yet. So I know that I'm able to see things, you know, as they happen and all that good stuff, or before they happen, right? But presenting time fractal and showing the possibilities of the next month, that's getting into predictive analysis, and that stuff is not usually my go-to for the public, right? Because we're talking about money here, guys. It's not a joke. You know, people are actually betting some real bankrolls, and it makes me lose sleep at night, thinking that somebody may lose based on things that I say, right? So I tend not to present information like that's kind of intangible, right? But I felt like the community really needed to see something of a different perspective, and if it has to be me that shows it, then so be it. You know what I mean? Then screw it. I'll go ahead and just show what I'm seeing, right, you guys? And with all respects to everybody, too, you guys. I am not trying to blow smoke up nobody's booty, nothing like that, okay, you guys? Nick, I'll go ahead and add it to the list, my dude. It's a little bit of a weird schedule already, but no problem. I'll go ahead and put Tesla on the list, my dude. You know how I got you guys. So, Steven, awesome video on GTII. I really appreciate you watching it, my dude. It was... like I said, it was super uncomfortable, right? But Lil Red Chevelle, what is up, Arca? I just lost my dog last month too. My heart goes out to you, bro. My heart goes out to you and your family as well, man. It's a very tough situation to go through, right, man? Because we look at our pets like they were our kids and stuff, dude. They provide such good stuff for for our kids, for our lives, for literally anything, man. For our emotions. You know, our stress, they're incredible. I actually already have, I'm sorry, who am I replying to? Adam, I already have it on the list as well, my dude, for CLNV, right? Regarding a couple other requests regarding it. But yeah, CLNV is also on the list, but please remember, guys, I have kind of a crazy I have kind of a crazy schedule going on here, so please bear in mind that, and we'll go over those things, okay? So Catfish, that's really nice of you, man. Thank you so much. I'm gonna put dono times 2. Thank you, my dude. I really appreciate it, man. Hey, Catfish, I'm not sure if you're actually following me anywhere else. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm going to remind everybody about that WhatsApp stuff. I don't know if you follow me anywhere else, like Twitter or on Discord and stuff, but please go ahead and send me a DM either on Twitter or yeah. Okay, so send me a DM on Twitter, because I can share whatever I'm seeing on GNS if it comes to where I can't see it today on the live stream, right? So wherever then. So Discord or Twitter, send me a DM and we'll go ahead and shoot you over some images regarding that ticker, my dude. I'm more than happy to help you. Okay, so Jorge, Let's see, Jorge Guerrero, what's up, man? Let me go ahead and add that into the list too, my dude. Like I said, there's a lot of requests, you guys, so I'll try to get through them as best as I can. I can't promise that I'll get through everything, but I will try my absolute best, as I want everybody to have an opportunity to have me look at their tickers of choice, right? You guys are all very nice for showing up today. Really cool to see everybody here. Hound, what you saying? It's one thing to evaluate potential price levels, but timing the market is a whole different animal. Absolutely, man. And actually some of the early, I'm talking about early fundamental analysts and rock stars today, they actually would say that timing the market is one of the easiest things to do, and it's actually not something that we should look into. We should look into the valuation over time instead of the target over time, right? So it's kind of a weird way they look at that, but yeah, man, following time fractals is just such a different thing. Hound, I'm not sure that I actually caught your, there's a lot of comments coming in, right? So I'm not sure that I actually caught your response to me saying, do you want me to just keep that wrench on you, dude, so nobody messes with you ever? Again, dude, I understand what you're trying to do. You don't have to do nothing here whatsoever, my dude, but you can keep the wrench. You can go ahead and stick around the chats just like you will, like the god you are, right? And make moves. So, man, what Chris Caraway saying, we need to make an Arca ticker. Unfortunately, Arca is already the market maker. So then, not referring to me, I'm actually referring to New York Stock Exchange. So NYSE Arca. Hell yeah, Hound. Thank you, bro. Actually, funny story, actually. It's if you guys are familiar with Eric Crown, he's a Crown's Crypto Cave, I think he is. He was actually the person who I learned a great deal of market strategies from his quant programs and stuff. So his name is Eric Crown with a K, right? And he was actually a licensed market maker and trader at NYSE at the top floor, and the top floor of the NYSE is called Arca. So because I learned so much from him, I actually, in huge vanity, right? I was just being vain as all hell, right? So I took that name. I was like, well, let me just name myself Arca so that like people know that so that people can see that I know what I'm talking about, right? So so I actually just named myself Arca. I took that name in vain, and and then from there, I actually started the Twitter account. This was just about 6 months ago, guys. So I started that Twitter account to see if other people can kind of validate my mathematical thesis and what I was talking about, right? So that the other analysts that I was looking for on Twitter never actually reacted to anything I said. In fact, I was called a clown. So I guess you guys are the validators of my thesis, right? And I really appreciate everybody in here. That goes a lot further, you guys. So I appreciate all of you, but that's how the name Arca came about. And the first video I uploaded on YouTube was just about 3 months ago. So, and now we're here, okay? So everything is moving along very nicely, and I couldn't appreciate it more. Fusion 2000, thank you so much for that donation. I really appreciate that. I couldn't tell you how much I appreciate all of you. Catfish, your dono number 3 again, my dude. I'm gonna have to push you way up. Don't forget to mention the Cash App scam. Look at that, you guys. Look at that. Catfish Posse just donated this big ass amount just so that I can make sure to remind everybody in the chat not to fall for the WhatsApp comments and for the helpline and for the text me. Guys, it's not me. It's really not me saying to text me and I want to trade your account. Guys, we're not going to do none of that stuff, okay? I'm not ever gonna do that, okay? Steve, yes, I very early on, though. I'm talking about a year or more ago. So it's very different. It was very different than what it is now. So now he has varieties of quant programs, right? But it was quite a different thing before. But but yes, I learned a great deal from that man, and he's absolutely a very intelligent, systematic trader, which is why I ended up turning into a systematic trader myself. I came from from fundamentals just like everybody else. And then I was exposed to mathematical probabilities and structures, right? So then from there I was like, wow, maybe I should look into this, into probabilities instead of whatever else, right? So I appreciate the question, man. But yeah, Eric Crown was the person who I learned a great deal from, aside from actually having a mentor, which was a full-on discretionary person. He's been trading for 25 years in the markets and stuff, and he essentially taught me how to show extreme discretion, right? And he showed me candle analysis, formation analysis. He made me understand what indicators did in the first place, and then from there, I found Eric Crown. But I've been very lucky with having the exposure to some amazing talent, right, you guys? So, thank you, Catfish. Thank you once again. Please don't fall for those comments, okay, you guys? And now, Hound, what you saying? Arca, Barca, Banana, Fana, I can't even say that. Dude, Hound, I actually, another thing is, man, I can ask you as well, do you want me to take the badge off of the Discord as well, or do you want to maintain that as well, my dude? But from me to you, because I feel like I owe you my life, man, for everything that you've done, I'm not going to take you away. I will not take you away from the edge plays, from that whole thing. I'm talking about from the edge plays, the Arcademy, all that stuff, and whatever I do further, I will include you in it too, man. So just know that I feel deeply for what you have done for me. Okay, so Supras, yes, actually, that's gonna be the second one we look at tonight. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and look at AMC as well, you guys. Steve, man, Steven, that really means a lot, dude. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. And Hound, yeah, I'll go ahead and wait for that DM, my dude. So I'll make sure to keep an eye for your DM as well. So and just so you can see how fast I forget, you guys, I need you guys to please remember, when I tell you to DM me, please do it. As I already forgot who I told to DM me. I think it may have been Catfish, but I'm going to try to push you as fast as I can, my dude. Okay, so guys, please hit that like button if you haven't done so already as you come in. It would make life a lot easier if we can actually get that like button to be smashed up, right? We'll get the algorithm moving, bring a bunch of people in here and get some more analysis done. So Steve, what are you saying right here, man? Any chance you'll be looking at EDBL, talk of a short squeeze, or is this not work for, or does it not work for technical analysis? Okay. That's Chris W. What's up, man? And Polo, what is up, my brother? I saw your reply. I haven't actually read it just yet, but I will get to it. Okay, my dude. Steven, hold on. That's a very interesting question that you're asking, because first of all, I know that I say that I'm practicing technicals, but I honestly think that technicals are a whole load of crap. I only will practice them. I will only practice them if the overall sentiment feels or seems to be following them. Polo M, what, dude? That's really nice of you, my dude. Thank you. You didn't have to do that, man. You know I was replying to you because I really care about I care about what people are doing, right? So thank you, my dude. I really appreciate that. So guys, I'm sorry. I was presented with this really interesting question here. And Nuno, Texas, it is on the schedule for sure, my dude. I have you as, I think, number 4 or 5, right around there. So yes, we'll be looking at RSLS. Thank you, Polo. Really appreciate that, my dude. Regarding the technicals, I think they're a load of crap, okay? But I will only practice them if I would only practice them if the overall sentiment is feeling, if it seems like they're following it, right? So if they're talking about a short squeeze on this, I'm not in control over what happens within that area. But what I can say is that when we start merging, what was the ticker again that you said? I'm sorry. That was regarding the short squeeze. Let's see. Let me go back on the comments here. EDBL, right? Okay, so let me go ahead and type that in just real quick, just so I can show you what I mean by this, okay? First of all. This reverse split actually tended, let's see the reverse split. That was a 1 to 30, and it just happened, and we're capitulating like crazy. I'm not exactly sure why this thing happened here, right? Do you know by any chance why this capitulated so low? But what I can already show you is that the anxiety is being built around this ticker like crazy. It's literally following that same damn pattern that everything else is following. And that pattern I'm talking about is actually the broadening descending wedge. So it's literally this, right? So you can already see that technicals, in quote unquote, they are being followed. So from here, if I can suggest anything, is start to count your your tests, right? So arguably you have more than 6, which is exactly why we started capitulating. So usually we capitulate when we fail 4 and 5. You have test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? 7, 8, and now, of course, usually 4 and 5 present like that the true breakout. But when you start to get into 6 and 7, this failure is more than likely. So it's funny that it would happen still, right? I've actually been talking about this. Another thing that you can tell is this. Look, so this is actually being traded in a smaller time frame. But if you can actually match the price action just like this contact point, this contact point, these contact points right here, you can actually see that we were in the process of potentially building an ascending broadening wedge. Okay, so what happens with this is that after 3 tests, 1, 2, and 3, we capitulate, right? And the take profit for this actually went way beyond what it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be 578. Okay, so just so you know that these things happen like this. Okay, you caught me in a really funky question right there. I wouldn't have started this like this right away. Okay, but just so you're clear about it, you're looking at a little bit of an upside continuation to the downside in the buy hourly, 6-hour consolidation. 12 hours still favoring a little bit of downside, daily still consolidating, and sideways trading on the buy daily. So everything right now is suggesting sideways trading, slightly bearish from where we are. Okay, so if you're going to be trading a little bit of sideways, expect this to drop just a little bit more. And I'm talking about just a little bit more. How you can figure that out? Go to the 4-hour time frame, take a fib. Okay, so from the last iteration, meaning this candle here, not the present one, take an inverse fib, and then you'll be able to see the likelihood of the targets coming up, which is literally leading to about $3.90. Okay, so I'm gonna leave this here for you, man. I actually I broke my promise here, making one ticker come on before other tickers, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and adjust that for you, just for you, okay, my friends. So EDBL and Catfish, I pushed you up on GNS. I got you, man. So let's go ahead and just note that I started this a good 6-7 minutes ago, maybe 9:06. And we ended it at about 9:09, right? So that's kind of what I'm expecting here. Do some downside followed by consolidation and then continue. Okay, so these things are very, very precarious situations, especially when you flash things like this. WISA is another ticker that has been flashed just like this, except that it flashed to the upside. So our analysis tends to be a little limited when it comes to things like this. Please notice how your candles are going from small to big. Okay, that usually means that there could be a potential bottom, and then we can actually make an upside. Not exact 906, bro. Thank you. Got it. So just know that that's kind of how it goes. Okay, so I'm gonna adjust the time of ending. No, it's still 9:09. All right, good deal. Perfect. And we're definitely not gonna rate this one because this is super, super dangerous. Okay, you guys. But yeah, we're gonna be taking a look at let's go over the list of tickers that we're gonna be going over. And T Wood, Arca, is the fib free on TradingView? Of course. Actually, it's a tool. You just go right over here. Take a look at my mouse, okay? I want to try to make my mouse all big right there, right here. So go down to this list here, right? And then you actually would just click on, I'm sorry, where the heck? Up here, I'm sorry, the third one. And you just click on this and click on fib retracement. Okay, so fib retracement actually is this tool, right? And then you apply it. And regarding your question about how to place it, there's no real right or wrong answer to that. So just try to I tend to use the 12-hour and the daily more than often, right? So for example, if we're looking at the 12-hour, you have 2 candles for the last day of trading, meaning today, right? So you can see the dates right down here. So when you hover over the candle, you'll see that the dates are presented there. Okay, so on a 12-hour, I would usually take the prior candle. Okay, anything under a day. Actually, anything under a daily, I would take my fib retracements from the prior iteration candle. Okay, so in this case, if I were guessing the downside, I would take the range high to the range low, and then I would see what the potentials are for the downside regarding that regarding this this candle here. So I would have guessed. I would have guessed from here that we would have touched about $8.82 to about the wick low of this candle here, which happens to be the wick low of this candle here and the high of this candle here. So I would have given you a range of about, let's say, just to give you an idea, right? I would have given you a range of about, I would say 832 to 883, and it looks like the candle following it went down to a low of 828. So it was pretty close to it, right? So that's usually how I follow my fibs to the downside. So now if you were guessing the upside, just do it inversely, but from the last candle in that case, okay? So from the downside, for the downside, you want to guess it from the prior candle, anything under a daily, right? And then for the upside, everything from the last candle or a range or a total range, meaning that the overall high to the overall low. And then as you start to get closer in price action, as you start to get closer and closer, meaning that how close of a price do you want to do? Because where are you trading? Are you trading the daily? Are you trading the 4 hour? Are you an hourly trader? Are you a 30-minute trader, 15-minute trader? So you can get closer and closer as you go. 4 hour, you know, you can go ahead and take it from the last iteration and so on. And then the hourly, you take it from either the last one or this one here, or maybe the overall range of the hourly so that you can see what the potentials are to the upside, then match correlation. Okay. Then try to see where price action has been in conjunction to the more important fib ratios, which tend to be the NOT 382, the 618 fibs, the golden fib, right? You can also look at the one spot 272, actually the 272s in general. Okay. So those are very important targets to look at. All right, my brother. So T Wood, I'm happy to be answering that question for you, my guy. So MM, thank you so much for your donation, my friend. That really means a lot. If there's anything I can do, please let me know. Okay, you guys. And Catfish, dude, thank you so much. That really is kind of insane, my dude. I'm gonna have to send you a Grubhub or something, right? And Catfish with that donation saying, learning so much. Thanks for what you do. I'm really happy to do this, you guys. I can't tell you how much I enjoy showing what I've learned over my time for you guys, right? So it's just great stuff, and it's honestly kind of addicting in a sense, right? So this actually has me not addicted to the money. What I mean is addicted to the solving of the puzzle. Because if you knew me personally, I mean, right in front of me, I have a chess set. I have actually several Rubik's cubes, and I'm in a studio that's full of music equipment, right? So I like solving things, and this is absolutely some of those things that I like to solve. Pattern recognition, you know, in music actually tend to work out really well for stocks, right? So absolutely good stuff, you guys. So yeah. Slave King, anyone know why tickers stall out on the 1 minute chart on TradingView? Oof, that's a good question. So there's actually an option that you get from TradingView saying that they will give you live data if you're able to pay for it maybe monthly. So they'll add an additional $3 a month for getting real-time data. So not that it's not real-time already, except that it just gets delayed, right? So I assume that that's actually one of the reasons why they tend to stall out a little bit. And particular to the 1 minute, I actually never look at the 1 minute myself. But I mean, if you're curious, this thing has the ability to give you 1 second candle iterations. So TradingView is kind of powerful, but I'm not sure. See, look, I don't even have it highlighted, and I don't even have my stars around it because 5 minutes is already just it's so critically low. You know, I tend to feel like there's too much grain within these time frames. There's a lot of dust, right? Meaning that if you're looking at this one huge green candle here, man, you would have seen a capitulation event. You know, let me show you that actually. Let's go ahead and just make this box like this and go down to the 5 minute first of all, right? Let me see if I can get into that box somehow. There it is. Okay, so please take a look at what happened in that box for that one candle. Okay, this is a heart attack of information. Okay, so like it's just, and then if you go to the 1 minute from there, look at this. Check this out. Let's go to the 1 minute and see what it does. Okay, so I mean, imagine you went long over here because, man, you know that this is a crazy amount of information. You know what I mean? And it's a little I don't know. I don't know how to call it. This is anxiety like no other. I couldn't sit there and look at this, right? So, but if you go up to the, like I said, if you go up to the daily, let's go to that candle now, right? And see what it does. If it ever decides to load, right? Oh, actually, let's go ahead and do this. And there it is. Wow. What is going on with this ticker? My goodness, we had to zoom in like crazy. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. Where are we? There it is. Jeez. Okay, and there's the thing that we were looking at. You know what I mean? So it's a lot. Sometimes it's a little easier for me to just look at the larger time frames, because then I could see historically what areas would be used, right? So the top side of this lands with literally every candle over here, right? So that's why I tend to look at these higher term time frames, you guys. It's just the shorter time frames feel a little too. It's like an excess of information, all too fast. So Slave King, I normally look at the 15-minute for scalping. That's interesting because the 15-minute is absolutely something I look at as well, but I've never considered it for scalping, as some may believe that the 15-minute may actually present a late reaction, but I'm not sure, and I don't really scalp anymore. So I was backtesting 15-minute and 30-minute versus 5-minute back in the day, right? But not anymore. I'm curious to see what it is now, but yeah, but good stuff, guys. So let's go over the list that for tickers that we're going to be looking at tonight. Okay, you guys. So we do have. We already saw EDBL, so good stuff. We have KPRX AMC. We have GNS. We have BBAI RSLS. From the tickers that I owed yesterday, I still have to look at WISA, CFRX. We have GTII on the list, right? We have BBBY, COSM, Tesla. I think it was IQNQ, or was that IONQ? I'm not sure if I got that response from that. We still have to look at Tide. We have Apple, CLNV, and GMBL, right, you guys? So there's a full schedule over here, but just rest assured that we have things in line for the list here. Okay, so we're gonna be getting started fairly shortly now. Okay, you guys. So I wanna be able to get to AMC right after KPRX. Okay, what was that? KPRX. Right. All right. So yeah, let's go ahead and start putting in kind of a serious note and dimming the music down. Right. It's already out. Wow. I thought it was on repeat. Sorry, you guys. Yeah, that is a ridiculous list. I don't think I'm going to be able to complete all of this, guys. But remember, I'm always able to evaluate these things later. But let's look at KPRX. It's actually loaded already. Okay, you guys. So we're going to officially start off the analysis with KPRX, followed by AMC. Okay, so let's start this at 9:19 p.m. Good deal. All right. So yesterday, we were actually talking about the potential of coming back down. And this was essentially what the targets that we were looking for, right? So it looks like we touched right back down into that area, and we actually pumped to the upside. If this pump actually, I'm talking about raw price action here. So if this pump actually has us flashing our momentum, that means that the upside can maybe continue. Okay, what I don't like is the daily iteration actually ended up printing a little bit of, I'm sorry, it's just a higher low, right? So let's go ahead and look at our momentum regarding this ticker. Okay, you know already that I do not like favoring these tiny little pivots, but if we were to favor this, then there's already drives of bearish divergence forming. Okay, specific to this, I'm not gonna draw them all. Okay, but for example, this right here, you can actually take a trend line to the top pivot right over here where it's showing. Let's just make a solid line, right? And you can match it to the price action. Okay, match it to the price action, which is actually this right here. The opposition of price action versus momentum, meaning that you're making a higher in momentum when you're making a lower high in price action, that opposition is called divergence. Okay, so in this case, this is called a drive of hidden bearish divergence. So, and there are several drives stacking up. For example, this is another one right over here in conjunction with this candle here, right? This is another one right over here. Not this one, and this is another one here, this is another one here, this is another one here. My goodness, it's just all stacking up. But remember that I don't like to see this tiny little notch, because sometimes these little notches are followed by a continuation to the upside, and sometimes, very much sometimes, the reason why I can tell you that there could be a failure of that notch is because of this iteration that we were looking at yesterday in February 2017. We still have an overhead of about 90% to get to, and we're currently sitting at about 79. Okay, so this is Adrian already giving me the C trade on this. So just know, so it's IONQ. Thank you. I'm sorry. Let me go ahead and just make a quick adjustment to that. Okay. All right, perfect. Thank you so much for that. So yeah. So I'm not necessarily favoring that, but if we have to favor it, meaning that we have to pay attention to the overall formation of what's happening, then it may actually be appropriate for us to consider the downside from this candle here, which already is showing, right? So that means that we would need to come back and test our newly converted resistance, this blue line, into support before continuing on to the upside. Okay, so if we're gonna favor that bearish divergence and all the other ones following it, it's highly likely that we can actually come right back down here. So let's go ahead and look at momentum starting from the 30-minute immediate short term. So let's see. All right, so 30-minute already suggesting that downside continuation, absolutely in correlation to what we're talking about. We're using this 14-day simple moving average, the pink line, right? And I'm talking about the signal line being the purple line. We're using it as a resistance, and it's still suggesting a downside continuation. Let's move on to the bi-hourly and collect the puzzle pieces, right? The bi-hourly has already failed that 14-day simple moving average, suggesting a continuation to the way down, okay? Let's look at the 6 hour. 6 hour is suggesting a limited downside. So why limited? We have, first of all, the gravitational zone of the prior zone being the bull weakness percentile. We also have that 14-day simple. We can use both of those zones as a bounce to the upside. Okay, so now let's go ahead and look at the 12 hour. Let's see. So the 12 hour is also showing a potential limited downside. Okay, so let's look at the daily, because it'll likely be okay. And by daily should be facing, or let's see, 3 day. There we go. So the 3 day is facing up, as well as the 5 day, I'm sure, and the weekly. Okay. So this is overall telling us that the downside is absolutely limited, and we have to look at the potential probabilities of where we can very likely jump out of, right? So like I said, if we're looking at the daily chart and we're paying attention to our broadening descending wedge, then essentially the targets that I presented yesterday are still very much valid. In fact, we used one today, right? So considering the 12 hour and the 8 hour or 6 hour limited downside, I would absolutely say that 528 at the 0.382 would be our area of reaccumulation before a continuation to the upside. Remember that remember that this formation is absolutely something that's happening within bear market cycles. This is anxiety. Okay, CEOS was a prime example of that formation. Okay, please take a look. This is essentially what I'm looking for. Okay, we break out. This is the broadening descending wedge. We break out, right? We come back and we validate the newly converted resistance into support. We make our way to the top, and the top, where could that be for ticker symbol KPRX? That top is actually located at about $40.23 on a daily chart. This may take weeks to get to. Okay, so, but I'm not saying that we're going there. I'm just saying that that's essentially where the take profit is per the trading rules, right? Per the playbook rules of how to trade a broadening descending wedge. That's usually where we want to focus our attention. Right now, we did that fresh breakout. We tested the area of resistance that we were talking about perfectly, right? We're retracing now, and very likely we're going to face a bounce within this area here. Expect a failure to it before reclaiming of the outside, and failure reclaiming. We're just going to validate this. We have to validate it. It's going to take a few days, but before that's actually validated as as a clean support, right? Then we can actually make that upside. Another quick little thing that you should know is that the correlation between the NOT 382 at 528 and the newly converted resistance into support are absolutely in line. X marks the spot, right? Right there. Okay, you guys. So that is going to do it for upon this bounce. Listen, I don't know what's going to happen right after this, but upon this bounce, we can actually potentially make that bounce to the upside to test our current highs, being a range between 801 and about 855 first. Okay, that's going to be our first stop, but we need to validate this first. Okay, you guys definitely know that that's essentially what I'm looking at here. And to tell you the very honest truth, since this was just looked at last night, the long rating of C+ is absolutely in play. Let me go ahead and end the analysis now at 9:26 p.m. for ticker symbol. What was this? KPRX. We're going to look at AMC next. Okay, you guys. So let's do a long rating here. I'm going to add the timestamps. Remember, guys, I'm going to add the timestamps and the ratings in the description below for you guys. So in case you want to refer back to the video tomorrow or something, then it's there. Okay, so C+ for KPRX. Thanks, Sebastian. So yeah, you guys, let's go ahead and refer back to the, well, actually, let me look at the chat real quick. Amy, what's up, man? Man, good to see you. So Arca, any chance of looking FRGT? I've made recent contributions. Amy, are you following me on Twitter or on what was it? On Twitter or on Discord by any chance? I'm waiting for your comment, by the way. I'm looking. So let me go ahead and type that in real quick, okay? So Amy, and that's FRGT. Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead and now move on, and let's see on Discord. So okay, good. Can you send me a DM, please, and list your ticker there, okay? Because I'm gonna reply to you there, and I'm gonna give you my thoughts on that. FRGT, got it. And I'm gonna go ahead and put it here for Discord. I'll make a reminder for myself, okay? Send a DM. Good deal. Thank you. All right. So, yeah. Oh my goodness, man. The long awaited. So, we did already, Mark. So, I said that the rating regarding this is definitely going to maintain as a C+ since I gave the targets just last night. So yeah. I think it's still in play. We just need to validate this support before a continuation to the upside. Okay, you guys, so now let's officially start ticker symbol AMC at 9:28 p.m. For the timestamps, right? Okay, let's go ahead and refer to that now. All right, so based on yesterday's analysis, I was talking about the potential of us touching down at about, if I remember correctly, I think I said, let's see, man, I'm not even remembering. I would have to refer back to this. I think I said 559, right? Or 560 if I remember correctly. We actually made a continuation to the downside. Well, I haven't looked at this the chart just yet. Okay, you guys. This regarding momentum versus volatility, I need to remind you that I did say that we were going to likely face a pullback here in respects to what happened the prior time we made a run to the upside this iteration here. Okay, so we actually did retrace just like we were talking about. Okay, so it's possible that we may be doing one of these numbers here. Okay, so it could very well be that before we can continue on to the upside. The expansion phase on volatility is absolutely on that continuation to the upside, so everything is still looking pretty good. And this is not, I wouldn't really consider this to be bearish. It looks like we're trying to validate support levels, which, by the way, we actually did in respects to this tiny channel that it can actually be seen from a smaller time frame, not the daily. I think I looked at this in either the 8-hour or the 4-hour, if I remember. Yeah, so here you go. This is actually the 8-hour channel that we were facing, right? We broke out and we actually came right back into it. Now, the curious thing of this, I'm sorry, my lines are a little, this is because I was looking at this at the cup and handle, right? So this is the channel from it. The fact that we broke out at a very premature level is the reason why this can actually fail, okay, you guys? So if we're going to fail this, that means that we would essentially have to touch back down at the support of this channel, which would entail touching down at the support of the newly converted resistance into support by this massive channel. Okay, so if we're, let's see, we have 1, 2, 3. Yeah, check this out. Yeah, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And then we have breakout true test number 5. We were just talking about the 4 and 5 being the absolute important true tests, right? So if we broke out on that test number 5, we have to come back and validate that support, right? So we came back, we validated, and it looks like we moved to the upside. But if we do need to make this touch all the way down here, it would be in respects to the sentiment, the overall sentiment. Not quite sure that we're still either not ready for an upside or we're waiting for something to happen. What we're looking at here is absolutely a typical reaction to what happens as we approach the CPI data release, okay? So I did mention yesterday that this ticker is absolutely reliant and it runs on sympathy to the broader markets. It was making a descent, right? Even though the broader markets were pumping to the upside in the early part. But remember that the broader markets failed. And they continued to the downside. Even so, they continued to the downside because they were still on an upward trend to test the resistance from their own technical levels. Now, AMC had already tested its own resistance level, so it was already on play for that downside continuation, suggesting that the broader markets would face that weakness as well. We have to look at them back and forth, okay? Tesla was another reason I was able to tell there was weakness in the markets. Tesla, for the SPY, you know what I mean? So those are types of things that we have to kind of keep into consideration. So are we failing here? Does that mean that the SPY is going to fail too? And look at them, just practice. Be creative. Be as creative as you can be while looking at the markets, okay? It's innovation. There's no right or wrong answer. It's only going to be wrong upon your test. And as soon as you see that it's a wrong answer, now you know not to go back to that strategy or forward test it before actually betting live money, right? So in this case, there are two possibilities here. We can absolutely retrace from the area that we're at, which we're actually facing a bounce from now. Right, let me see what the close was at market. So 536 at market, we actually bounced really heavily to the upside, and then we actually faced that continuation to the downside to test on the 12-hour that support. Like, I mean, pretty dead on it, right? So I'm not sure that this is actually going to face that support and continue on to the upside. It may face a bounce, a short-term bounce from the $5.14 zone, which is the wick low of this candle here. We'll reclaim it a little bit, but this is still suggesting a continuation to the downside. And please remember, I did talk about this one candle in yesterday's video as to be the continuation candle. Okay, some people consider this to be ladder attacks, right? But it's because longs believe that this is the area or the lowest area, so I better load up right now so it goes up, right? And the shorts actually cover, then they reopen their short positions, then they cover, then they reopen their short positions, right? Then they cover, then they open their short positions. You see the pattern? So we have to be aware of these market cycles and aware of the strategies that the shorts play. Before we can play in the markets as longs, we need to be ambidextrous. We need to see how the shorts play it so we have the edge over them too. Okay, you guys? So that's actually a very valuable piece of advice that I can give you. Understand the short bias so that you understand how to play the downside just like we play the upside. Okay, you guys? Take a quick little sip of water. That's feeling good. All right, so let's move on. So we have that test, right? We have that test, but what is momentum saying? What are we supposed to expect? You know, for the next days. Fatal One, what's up, man? Good to see you here. Good to see you here. I see a couple questions still. I'm sorry. Let me get back to the analysis, or I'm going to spend too much time there. Okay, so the pattern that's happening right now, you guys, is absolutely a pattern that's happening throughout the broader markets in general. For example, GTII, right? So let's just look at this real quick. GTII is facing this up and down price movement, just like this right here. Please notice how we're actually facing this up and down, making higher highs and higher lows. And let's go back to AMC and look at the same pattern. Guys, this is happening because I'm telling you, the macroeconomic releases are going to be coming back on the 14th. Okay, the 14th of February, mark it on your calendars, mark it in your calendars now. Okay, that date, you want to maybe consider staying away from the markets, stay cash, keep some dry powder on the side for a better opportunity after the CPI read. Okay, we don't know what the CPI is going to be. We don't know if it's going to be negative. We don't know if it's going to be a beat, right? So if we get a CPI miss, this will continue to the downside. If we get a CPI beat, then we're gonna likely continue our ascent as AMC is absolutely a sympathy run to the broader markets. If sentiment backs this, if we break areas of inflection points to the upside, for example, let's see, breaking, for example, okay, if we break 914, which would be this candle here, breaking this to the upside would absolutely break market structure. Okay, so if we break this here with a minimum, I'm talking about a minimum 8-hour or 12-hour candle on a closing basis. Okay, if we break this, we're going to start wanting to push a lot harder. FOMO will apply. Okay, so, and the reason why I'm saying this is because breaking out of this pattern right here would actually essentially stop the whole higher low transition. Making this break here would officially be the first break of market structure, which would, I'm not kidding, which will push whales to start coming in and pushing this thing to the upside, because they know that retail will follow along and push it with FOMO, with a psychological, that's a psychological component. Okay, you guys. So if we can break this 914, okay, I'm telling you right now, 914 minimum 8-hour to 12-hour candle on a closing basis, then this will actually absolutely start rocket shipping. And then you're going to start to see these big iterations. Like, I'm talking about huge candles, just similar to what happens like this. Okay, people are like, oh yeah, we should probably get in, right? And then we start making a bigger ascent. It's like, oh my goodness, we're going to miss the boat. And then the candles start getting larger and larger, and then bull trap. Right? So we have to be able to recognize when we can see that upside. We've been looking at this already, though. So it's all good, you guys. It's all good. Let's go ahead and refer to momentum and see what we have for the immediate short-term time frames. Let's go ahead and refer to the 30-minute. This is the 30-minute, suggesting a slight downside, but mostly this is consolidation. Okay, a little bit of sideways trading right away from the morning. The bi-hourly is actually suggesting some just some consolidation as well. It is slightly bearish. Where we have to pay attention is the position of your RSI signal. Okay, so in this case, we're getting dangerously close to that gravitational zone of the bear strength percentile. Okay, as we reach into that 2% above that 30%, so meaning 32%. Okay, we're right above it right now. So it's very, very close. If we do get into that zone, likely we can face a continuation to the downside. And here it goes. The 6-hour is confirming that. Okay, the 6-hour is telling you that upon this weight, upon us staying at this level, we're gonna eventually face a downside continuation. The 6-hour is now in the grips of the bear strength percentile, and now this 12-hour is telling you that this is absolutely gonna favor it, because this is in the gravitational zone. All right, so this is already in the gravitational zone of the bear weakness. This is likely to face the downside. Notice your 14-day simple moving average starting to pivot towards the downside too. Okay, on the daily time frame, we already made a bearish cross below this 14-day simple moving average, suggesting a continuation to the downside. And here's where it's telling us that it may be a limited downside. Okay, let's see. By daily limited and a 3-day limited. Okay, to that 14-day simple. Let's look at the 5-day. The 5-day is also suggesting a limited downside. Okay, that was one of those helplines, the WhatsApps. I just closed it by accident. Don't follow those. Okay, don't reply and don't talk to them. Don't give them your money. All right. So here you go, you guys. So this is a limited downside. So what is that telling us? What that is telling us is that we could be close to a bottom in respects, of course. Remember, in respects to a larger time frame, meaning that if we're looking at the 12-hour daily, then we're going to have to start giving precedence to this zone being that support before a continuation to the upside, which actually would be, I'm not going to lie, look at this. Okay, I'll give you another perspective. This is very important because I know a lot of people, it's just AMC is a huge community, right? And I've been holding here with you guys since 16 months ago. It's been a long time. So what we're looking at here is this. This is an ascending channel. Okay, what does it remind you of? Well, like freaking GTII, just like this. Okay, so it's all rhyming. Okay, so let's go ahead and just look at that channel again. If we're looking at the bottom side of the channel on a 12-hour iteration, it's taking us to about 471, right? Or yeah, 471, which already is so close to this support. Okay, so we can only assume now that our support touch may be at about 471. Let's make a range. Okay, 471 to about, I would say, a good 454, right around there. Okay, we can actually face that downside and then face a crazy bounce because it looks like we're riding this very typical. I'm talking about a very typical formation here. This is a strategy that a lot of professionals trade. It's called ABCD. Okay, so, or an ABCD strategy. So basically it's this right here. Let me go ahead and put it in like this. This is X, right? We have A. Unfortunately, this is B here, right? So we have C, and D would essentially take us, you know, wherever it's going to go, right? So this is a very common strategy, and you can actually find this in TradingView as well. Okay, you guys. So just know that this is absolutely what we're looking for, and it's literally the shaking hands of like shorts versus longs. And I'm talking about professional traders here. I'm not talking about people who are talking, well, this is a short attack and this and that, and these are FTDs and whatever else. It's not that. I'm actually talking about institutional or professional traders that see the play and know when to shake hands with the shorts, and the short sellers knowing the play and shaking hands with the longs and using everybody who doesn't know in between as liquidity. Do not be liquidity. Look right up here. This is the text me. Don't do that. Don't go there. Okay, this is man, how many freaking times are these scammers going to post? Guys, don't fall for that stuff, okay? There's a lot of Arca imposters out there, and it's incredible how much is happening now, but whatever. Just know not to follow that, okay, you guys? My targets for tomorrow are absolutely landing on about 471 to about $4.55 before a pretty gnarly bounce, okay? So just, I honestly... I'm telling you in a discretionary manner that I would actually favor a bounce around that area. Okay, so as I think it's just part of the play. All right, you guys. So I'm sorry that I actually didn't release a dedicated AMC video today, but please know that these are the plays that the professionals are looking at. And I want to expose you. I want to expose you to mathematical probabilities. I want to expose you to geometrical targets. And actually, that's the last thing we have to do. I'm sorry. Let's go ahead and take the previous candle iteration from that from the wick high of the 12-hour, right? Notice right here the 1.618 golden mean landing right at our top side. Guys, come on. This is absolutely telling us that we're going there. So geometrics are telling us, formation analysis is telling us. Now the ABCD strategy is telling us. There's too many validations there. Man, don't let me pull up a freaking moving average and find it there too. I'm not even sure about this, by the way. Okay, so let's just go ahead and see anyway. All right, so let's get some exponentials up and start looking at our 4-hour because it may very well happen within the first half of the day. Okay, so let's see the EMAs and see what we have. Okay, so let's go ahead and now open up our 4-hour and take a look at our targets right down here. As you move down the time frames, you'll start to see that the relevance of your targets may actually happen sooner than later. In the hourly, please notice that that every single average is above us, right? And the EMA 7 the EMA 7 and the SMA 10 are being used as a guide to the downside. Okay, so as soon as we can succeed these moving averages, then then everything would be good. I'm actually very happy that we didn't have a moving average down here, which would have been too much confluence, right? But today on the 4-hour, we converted the SMA 100 as a form of resistance, which is very much what I mentioned earlier, that we can actually face a bounce from 514 to likely find a resistance from the overall highs right now. Okay, so this is going to be the SMA 100 resistance followed by a continuation to the downside. This will be another bounce area here at 495 before testing the resistance of this channel here. Then we can continue on to the downside, guys. Come on. Everything is good. Everything is okay. This is not looking bearish. It's looking like a strategy. Okay, you guys, Chris W saying it makes sense. The real Conquer, what's up, man? Bro, you're legit, dude. Thank you so much. I really appreciate everybody stopping by. Really love that everybody can share these types of strategies. AMC is absolutely the ticker to look at for the strategies and for the lessons, okay? This is magical stuff because I don't remember all of this to be able to tell you at any given moment. Okay, this is absolutely imperative that we're looking at AMC as a community together because these plays happen. These are actually pretty typical plays, you know? So to some people, they may not see it as a typical thing because they see their bankroll kind of, diminishing because their average was actually at around $6, right? But it's okay, you guys. The thing is that we're here to learn and we're here to learn from our mistakes too. Okay, just know that the possibilities are still actually in our favor. Okay, so everything is looking not bad. We have validations that's what I'm saying. We just have validations to confirm and to make before we can continue. Okay, and if that is the case, then please look at when we can touch the bottom. Okay, check this out, AMC. If we touch the bottom, say for example, by about Monday, February 13th, or even Tuesday, February 14th, then what does that entail? We have CPI on the 14th. So it's very similar to GTII as well. So if we're looking at a touch on the 14th of the bottom side of the channel, which is literally, this is the same thing that's happening to AMC, then it's only insinuating, which is why I said that it's very uncomfortable. The video that I released for GTII is super uncomfortable. I've never had to do such an uncomfortable video in my life. Okay, but time fractals are not something that I practice often and not for the public, but regardless, I had to practice it here to ease tension. Okay, so AMC, just like GTII, is looking at the bottom right at the Tuesday the 14th when CPI is going to be released. So do not take this as financial advice whatsoever. What I am saying here is that are the tickers insinuating that we're going to release a positive CPI? No one knows. No one knows. We don't know. We do not know if our CPI read is going to be good. But the numbers have been suggesting that we are on a bull trend, and the markets have been pricing that thus far. Okay, so if this is insinuating that we're going to face a bottom for AMC, just like GTII, just like several other tickers facing the same pattern, then are we actually looking at psychology suggesting that, yes, we're ready for an upside? I'm not going to say yes or no to that, okay? But I'm just going to leave it for you to think about and for you to look at price action in a different way. AMC and GTII are very, very similar in their price action. You know what I mean? So just rest assured that the possibilities are there where we can actually maybe find a floor again before a continuation to the upside. This is nuts. This is not regarding AMC anymore. This is regarding everything. I'm talking about the broader markets, everything in general. Okay, so I know that it can be considered, like in the tweet that I posted, this can be considered as sensationalist claims, right? But I'm not going to present anything unless there is a strategy behind it. Okay, so if geometrics and mathematics and all kinds of analysis are suggesting it, then I have no choice but to express it to you vocally, right? So and also on the charts. The charts are saying what they will, and I'm not going to tell you anything that they're not saying. Okay, because I do not care about anything else other than what we see here. This is us. Visualize us. This is our anxiety. This is how we're moving. Okay, this is what we're deciding together, whether one person likes it or not. Okay, so please. Abner Cruz, good to see you here, my dude. I'm super happy you were able to stop by. All right, so guys, this is essentially it. Remember, the targets that I'm looking at for tomorrow, $4.71 to about $4.54 before a continuation to the upside in a huge potential. We're on the 8th of February. We may actually see some consolidation here before that upside, okay? I wouldn't start to scream at other YouTubers claiming that they're wrong or claiming that whatever else. Please remember, guys, that we're actually devoting some of this. Yes, this is live, Christian. This is absolutely live. I'm not This is not something that you're just viewing out of nowhere, right? So, yeah, guys, just know that the potentials are there, and be safe in the markets. Do not bash the YouTubers, okay? So let's go ahead and now move on to the next ticker. Let's end AMC on what time is this? What time is this right now? 9:50. This was a great topic for everyone to talk about, guys. This was absolutely something. I'm telling you, man. There's a reason why everything is following this same formation. It's ridiculous. Okay, so again, guys, I don't want to rate AMC because AMC is known to be one of the most heaviest manipulated whatever thing. So Abner Cruz, there's no way I deserve that, man. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you, my dude. Oh, by the way, if you can, I think I don't remember exactly, man. I think I asked Claire a question regarding, I forgot what it was, man. I'll just go ahead and message again. There's so many comments and so many stuff that I forget what's what I have to do. I have to refer to my notes, but all good. Guys, we need to take a look at GNS. What is going on with GNS? Is anybody long that ticker still? Also, Abner, please let me know on a DM or here what you need me to look at, man, because I know that you have some pretty awesome picks, right? And I can kind of ease some tension into maybe kind of like flushing out the lesser probability ones, right? So yeah. Oh, so Catfish, you are long GNS. Okay, are you in the green or are you in the red, my dude? What do we have to do for you so that we can make sure that we can get this thing to the upside? We have to pump it or what? That's not something I want to do, by the way. And it's all, man, there's already a lot of people listening to me, so I don't want to ever just put a blind thought out there, right? Chris W., you're absolutely welcome, man. Please be safe, be well, and I'll catch you soon, okay? Yeah. T Wood, look at that. Abner Cruz, you got to drop us an A+ ticker, right? Cryptic Trader, hey, Arca, your candles don't match what I see in TV. What type of candles are you using? So I'm using the traditional candles, but please make sure to refer right down here if you can see it. The log chart, okay? Just, I mean, to tell you the truth is just the only reason I ever followed the log chart wasn't because I know any better. It's just because I looked on YouTube or Google, and it said that professional analysts use the logarithmic chart because there is the belief that there is some type of a percentage difference in the value of the candles. So I just did that, right? And also because I was learning from my mentor and also learning from Eric Crown, they also use logs, right? So I ended up just following the trend within that, right? So just know that that's essentially what I wanted to say. There's no real reason why I followed log, but Cryptic, go ahead and check that out and let me know if that changed your chart, because the log is definitely what I use, okay, you guys? So Catfish, what you saying? GNS chart pattern looks same as AMC. I'm telling you, man, everything, that's why I said everything is facing this like same ascent. Christian Martinez, I do have Tide. I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to get to it, but I do have it on the list as well, okay? Cryptic Trader, you got it, man. No problem to you. So in regards to GNS, actually, I know that we already touched, we actually were looking for this target down here, right? So we came just shy of it from the last time we were looking at it. So very, very interesting that we actually ended up making that touch. We were looking at the 2.618 in relation to a few other metrics, right? So this is how we were able to create our support line. So good stuff. Created a very nice candle here. What I do, let me see the daily actually with this candle. And again, I'm not starting off this damn thing. I have one left. Oh, you have one left in GNS. Damn, Mark, 255%, bro. What are you doing here? You should be actually leading the way with me. Okay, so let's officially start the analysis for GNS. 9:55 p.m. All right, let's get it moving. Okay, so yeah, this was actually what I wanted to see. Please remember, guys, your candle analysis is actually a little silly to think about, but it's very important to consider. And the reason why I'm saying this is because when you're looking at candle analysis and anything above, please try your best to look at it above the 8-hour the 8-hour chart. Okay, it's not saying that it doesn't work in smaller time frames. It just becomes less and less likely to fulfill or realize or materialize. Okay, which way you want to say it. But when you start diving into the daily chart and looking at candles, then they have a little bit of a higher hit rate to actually fulfill. And the range that we were looking at was in respects to this wick low, creating this gap from the wick high of the candle from Friday, January 27th to the wick low of January 30th. Okay, so this is how we were able to gauge our targets, and we actually did mention the relevance between geometry and this gap. So naturally, we came right here and we noticed, and we said that this would likely be our area of support. Okay, so just like we always said, I also did mention, right, that we would likely use the top side of the gap first as a support before we consider closing it. And it did happen. This is what I mean by candle analysis, okay? This is absolutely a very healthy candle, and it's a hammer candle printed after a downtrend. Usually when this happens, we can actually face a continuation to the upside. This is not the only thing that you should pair it with, however. Okay, do not pair it with only candle. We need to validate the potentials of an upside. Okay, so we bounced from a gap, but we still have to remember the fact that there is a psychological component here, and that would be the gap, right? So let's go ahead and now look at our momentum. Okay, let's start off with the immediate short term, the 30-minute. Okay, because I'm sure that actually got flashed to the upside. Let me make sure that we put this on the log chart as well, because I just want to show you, or show some people here, the differences between what we're looking at in respects to the other tickers, right? So we'll get to this. So we're looking at an upside continuation on the 30-minute immediate short term, okay? And it still looks pretty healthy. I know we have a little bit of a notch right there, but it's still suggesting that continuation to the upside, okay, you guys? So let's go ahead and look at the bi-hourly and continue puzzling our pieces here. This limited upside on the bi-hourly has me a little pensive here. First of all, we have been using the 14-day simple as a form of resistance on the way down, right? But the difference between all of these resistances is that this time our 14-day simple has a pivot. Look at this. Okay, so that means that we may be pressuring it to the upside. And as we approach the gravitational zone of the bear weakness percentile, we're likely to break it. Okay, but we need to get closer up here. We can't assume that that's going to be. Let's validate it. Let's go to the 6 hour now. Okay, so the 6 hour is suggesting a continuation to the upside, but please remember, I do not like these little pivots. These little pivots tend to fail, and we can't use this as a viable source of or a validator of any sorts. Okay, so let's just go to the 4 hour instead. The 4 hour is suggesting a limited upside as well. If we're looking at the relation between the RSI signal and the 14-day, we can already assume that the 3.618 at about $6.17 could be an area for resistance. On the 4 hour, remember, I don't like to look at this on the 4 hour, but please notice this is a very high quality hammer candle, okay? The shorter the body, the longer the wick, the higher the quality of the candle, okay? So this is suggesting a continuation to the upside nonetheless, okay? And it looks like it's already kind of fulfilling. So let's look at now the 12 hour and see what we got, okay? The 12 hour also suggesting that ridiculous little pivot. We don't want to rely on things like this. The only thing bullish about this pivot is that it's approaching the gravitational zone of the bull weakness percentile, which would essentially have us pulled right back into that bull strength. All right, so the daily is still suggesting downside, but remember that there is an upside continuation in the after hours trading. So upon the closure of the 560, the aftermarket actually pushed it up 15 cents. It went up to 575, right? So the buy daily would naturally be facing that downside as well. But the buy daily is actually facing a limited downside. Let's look at the 3-day. Limited downside on the 3-day, and the 5-day is suggesting a limited downside too. So now that we have that in play, let's look at the following chart and see if there's any type of relation between what's happening on price action, raw price action, to formation analysis. Okay, so in this case, let's see if we can just draw ourselves maybe a channel, right? So I think it actually could be like this. and we draw it in just like this right over here. Okay, you guys, perfect. So we want to make sure that the contact point here matches the contact point here. And that would validate that we are within an ascending channel. Okay, so 2 touches of the support validate your support. Okay, 2 touches of your resistance validate that channel. Okay, the trend is what we're essentially facing. So if we're looking at this massive candle here, touching right back down and rejecting like the way that it did, then yeah, there is the potential to where we are riding this channel. And if we are to face any type of downside, we have already the support at about $5.03 in a 6-hour period. Okay, so if we can pair this with our RSI and look at the 6-hour, let's see real quick. We do have an upside continuation on that 6-hour, and that 6-hour is suggesting the upside continuation too. But here's another thing too. Please hold on just a sec, and let's just move on and breeze by these time frames as we did earlier. Okay, so it is suggesting a limited upside on the shorter term time frames. Okay, so let's take a fib now, and we're going to use the 6-hour, okay, because this is where it looks like this is where we're trading this channel. So don't be afraid to look at other time frames when you're looking at a channel. It doesn't have to be the daily, it doesn't have to be whatever. Start from the higher term time frames and scale back to see the potentials, and then when you're starting to make your trend, try to see what time frame it could, the higher probabilities is what I'm talking about. Look at the higher term time frames and the shorter term time frames, then determine where we're trading it. So I determined that we're in the 6-hour. I don't usually look at the 6-hour, but we're here. Okay, so that's what it's suggesting. Let's go ahead and take a fib from the prior candle. Okay, so we're going to do this as a long fib to the upside. Okay, so if we're suggesting a limited upside based on the shorter term time frame, and we're currently sitting above the knot 618. That's a very good thing. That only leads me to believe that the next targets would be in relation to the highs of this candle here and the lows of this range here. Okay, so what is that range? That is absolutely at the 1.272. Just like I said earlier, like 15 minutes ago. Notice your 2.272s, your 618s, and you're not 382. Okay, those are very important fib levels. Okay, so let's make now a range of resistance for the immediate short-term time frame. This is likely to touch down tomorrow, right around here. If we do face resistance here, then we're likely to come back down and test our current highs at about 575 before a continuation to the upside. But this still has a we still have to validate. Okay, I'm sorry, I got a little distracted. T-Wood, that spot 1258 could be in there still. Are you talking about a fib? Sorry, but I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that. So aside from this, let's just go ahead and match price action with. Oh my goodness. Okay, so very curious. Okay, so we need to take into account this on the 6-hour chart. Okay, this is another psychological component and very likely could be used as a form of resistance, and this is overlapping our range, so we are likely to find resistance now between the 655 and 691, just shy of the 1.618. Okay, so oh wow, sorry about that, my dude. So just know that the reason why this would be the area to look out for is because longs would usually take their scalp or their day trade position just shy of the target where everybody's expecting it to go. 1.618 suggesting $7. They're likely going to sell at 691, which just so happens to be the top of the gap. Okay, so let's just get a little bit closer actually, just to see if we can get it as tight as we can. Okay, so let's make sure that we can put it just like this here. That should be good enough, and we'll zoom right back in. And now the overall take profit target, if we do get that high, would be 689. Okay, so this is usually how I look at market trend. Okay, after this, then the higher term time frames start to become more relevant, like the daily, suggesting the downside, and the buy daily suggesting a limited downside. The buy daily suggesting a limited downside would likely mean that we can touch this right over the next day or two, then we can come back down and test this range here between about 610 and about 575, limited downside before an upside continuation. Okay, you guys. Keith, what's up, man? Good to see you here. So yeah, that's gonna do it for ticker symbol GNS. Very good stuff. Thank you, Catfish. Really appreciate your donation, my friend. I couldn't tell you how much that means to me. Okay, my dude. But that was it for your ticker of choice at 10:05 p.m. Keith, what's up, man? Appreciate you, my guy. Appreciate you, my dude. Diamond Music Production, good to see you here, man. What's up? So what's going on, Arca? Glad you're still with the people. Absolutely still here, man. Making sure that retail can actually look at the markets in a different way. Guys, let's rate this. Chat, let's go ahead and let's rate the trade for the longs here. We're looking at D- as your max loss, right? We're looking at D+ as your break even. Right, so rate it from D- to A+. What are we rating this for the longs? Let's look at the market cap. Okay, so the market cap on this is pretty hefty. Wow, 134 mil, right? And the float is a tiny 10.5 mil. Okay, so I'm getting already some ratings. Let's see. Mark Roach saying a C+. T Wood giving me a C+. Cryptic Trader giving me a C. Catfish, thank you so much for your donation. Thank you. That really means a lot, my dude. I hope I was able to provide you some pretty good information with this, right? And you're also giving me a C+ with the trade. The sentiment is Indra giving me a C. What's up, Indra? Good morning to you. Good morning, good morning. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, you guys. I think that you guys are dead on with this one. I would honestly, and the thing is here, remember guys, the thing to consider here is that GNS absolutely has a whole community building behind it too. Okay, so if I'm not, please correct me if I'm mistaken, guys. Is this, is the CEO fighting against the shorts with this ticker? I'm not sure if he was one of those, right? So in my case, guys, I honestly could give this a solid C+ because of the sentiment behind it. Oh, Indra definitely. Oh, okay. And he did in an interview. Wow, very cool stuff. Okay, so the only reason I'm rating this a C+, remember guys, is because I don't like tiny floats and I don't like tiny, small market caps, right? So I like a little bit of a heftier small market cap. And if the float can be at a max 1 billion, to actually meet the small cap range, then it would actually be good. So he was the first out the gate. Okay, gotcha, Polo. Thank you. And Mark Roach saying Roger Hamilton is this. Oh, that's what people meant by Hamilton. Got it. And Jimmy Sams, he has a YouTube channel, vids every day. Wow, man. That's very interesting. Maybe I should pitch this to the guy and be like, hey, you got to hire Arca to give you the thoughts in about a month. What are you thinking? Other CEOs are following suit. Yeah, I believe it, man. I thought it was actually Greg from COSM that actually ended up doing it first. I'm sure there's others, right? But so it was actually Hamilton that did this first? Very interesting. I like it, guys. So yeah, let's go ahead and now make sure that we can end this analysis. And we're going to leave it for the timestamps later, right? Long rating is going to be that C+. Now, Keith, I think I saw your question regarding that. Oh, Dan Bates as well. Yeah. That's cool. Keith, I think I saw your question regarding the statistical upside on GTII for the 3-day. Yeah. I just want to see what tomorrow looks like with momentum with GTII, right? I just want to see how it affected it, but it's still pivoted towards the upside. And we're dangerously close to the critical volatility zone of the expansion, right? So this is, man, it's, if I'm being honest, it looks like it's loading. It looks like GTII is loading something. And it may actually be favoring the upside based on all of this data that I was able to release today, both the fractal analysis and the statistical analysis, right? So what I ended up doing in that crazy video that I just released for GTII is that I merged I merged like 5 different strategies together in one shot. So it's actually the first time I've ever considered to release it in a public video, But what I ended up doing was merging fractal into making it a statistical. So making I wanted to see if fractals have a statistic behind them. So Catfish Swassi, have a good night, man. Thank you so much for all of your consideration, man. I really, really appreciate your donations, my friend. So it was actually something that was very daring for me to do because I don't like practicing fractal analysis. But if I was going to practice it, I was gonna combine it with a bit of physics and a bit of statistics. And there may be something within it. And I'm not sure if it's actually going to be something positive, but it's favoring the positive side. That's what I can absolutely say. Is that it's just to put it in short, I'm favoring the bulls in this area. And please remember that I will not say that. I will not say that it's favoring the bulls or favoring the bears unless I absolutely saw it, right? So, and I don't care. I don't care about your emotions. I don't care what it says. And that's why I get hated on all the time because I'm not going to say what the chart's not saying, man. It's just, if 1 + 1 = 2, I'm not going to say 4, So, yeah, I still see it. I still see it in play, okay? So let's go ahead and move on to the next ticker, guys. I need to actually open up this window, man. Damn, it's getting hot. Jeez. But yeah, the next ticker we gotta look at, what is it? BBAI. I think that was one that I owed yesterday. So, yeah, man, Cryptic Trader, that's how it should be, man. I honestly wish that everybody would be as open-minded as that and look at it just like I do, right? But I can't say that, right? So, Hound, huge grain of salt, but I know of a fundamentals analyst that does deep dive DD, okay, and he's been saying for weeks that GNS could be huge. He actually compared it to GME, but again, grain of salt. Hound, thank you. So, are you serious? Dude, we should probably make a huge, since GNS is actually a big community, we should probably start making a statistical backtest on it and see if there is actually something of strength in the upcoming, in the potential future, right? So, Win. Oh, Arca, you're awesome, brother. Thank you so much, my bro. Really appreciate you. Cryptic Trader Arca, that's why we're here, my dude. Man, I really do hope to continue providing that, okay, you guys? So, let's get started with BBAI, you guys, and that's going to be at 10:13 p.m. Mark Roach, thank you so much. And Jimmy Sam saying that GNS already 10x'd. Don't know what's going to happen next. Yeah, so that's why I'm saying maybe we should actually consider a backtest for it, right? So, BBAI, you guys, 10:13 p.m. Let's get it started. Moderators, go ahead and take a look at the chat as I will make this thing pop off now. Beta bot, what is up? All right, so let's see. Here it is. And we already have it loaded just so that we can start it off fresh. Wow. What is that gap doing there? All right, very interesting price action forever, right? And then it actually started doing this crazy movement. This actually reminds me of that old ticker, RDBX for Redbox, which is now Chicken Soup for the Soul or something. But very curious price action here. Okay, so let's see if we can actually face any type of, or if we can see any type of formation. In the shorter term, no way. Oh, I see it. Yeah, I think I do. This actually has me a little confused. It may actually be a descending channel, but it looks like a buy formation, and I will show you what I mean by that. Okay, so we match it to, let me just make these iterations just a little bit bigger for us to see. Right, we'll take a look at this, guys. In order for us to understand where our future is, we need to understand where we were in the past. Okay, so let's look at the probabilities from the past first. Okay, so let's now line up our touch point. So this contact point versus this one right over here versus this one over here, right? And this one here. So buy formation, why? Because this is a combination of two different traders. We have one trader trading a descending channel, and we have another trader trading a broadening descending wedge. And that is very similar to, yeah, it would actually be, wow, from the same start point too. Okay, so like this, right? And it would very likely be like this. So we have a descending broadening wedge and also this this formation here. So now this is curious. This is curious. I don't know why this thing gapped up all the way, but if you remember me correctly, if you remember what I say, this usually breaks out with using the golden rule of three. Okay, the golden rule of three states that we have test number 1, 2, right, 3, and breakout on true test number 4 or 5, right? But in this case, we're on test number 4, and it looks like it did break out very nicely. If you remember as well, the take profit for the broadening descending wedge is located at the genesis of the formation, which lines up with right? Okay, so it's very interesting that we actually just went there, right? So super curious, very curious for BBAI. I'm not really sure how that played out, but it's played. Okay, so oh my goodness. All right, so now we can continue our analysis by trying to see if this favors geometrics as well. Okay, and it very much does. It took us right to the 4.618, the golden mean. Okay, so even, man, this is a really curious ticker. This is super cool. I want to make this. Yeah. Thank you for whoever. I think his name was Javier actually from yesterday that asked for me to look at this. T Wood, that's manipulation, right, man? This is very curious. The typical rules, man, are just they're being played really nicely. Right, so and the thing is that it not only broke out of it, but it came back to test it as a valid form of support before a continuation to the upside. Guys, that's fucking stupid. This is incredible. All right, so now that we know that we are playing geometrics, right? So we're playing the geometry pretty nicely here. we can assume a few things now. Okay, so let's take the range now. Okay, let's take the range from I want to say let's see, from the short. This looks like FOMO already. So from this candle here to the swing low. Okay, let's see if we're playing geometrics there. Okay, so from the red candle, right, to the swing low. And where did we go? Okay, so we surpassed the 4.618, but let's see. Okay, so the support touches, and this one, yeah, support was actually right at the 618, and also we failed it here once, and now we're making and converting that 4.236 as a form of resistance. Okay, now the last daily candle actually used support from the 3.618, so we are definitely using geometrics here. Okay, so this is good. This is good. It's following a geometric pattern. All right. So the reason why I'm doing this, guys, is because I'm super limited when things flash to the upside like this. Okay. It's very difficult for me to consider what can happen when all of this is here. Right. So the most obvious area of support, and I'm talking really obvious here, it's because of the first candle that we printed up here. Okay. Which also happens to be very much in confluence with the 2.618. Okay, not to mention that the candle already almost opened at the 2.618 too. Okay, so let's make our first area of support. Okay, I'm already assuming that we're going to continue to the downside. Yes, but hold on. Okay, we will validate all of those things. I'm charting this out. We need to see what our areas of demand are, before we can continue that upside. Okay, so I want to continue looking at what we have here. Okay, so it looks like we use this gap too. We use this gap as support. Okay, so this is something that we have to know that could be our lowest area of demand, which is absolutely close to the 0.618. All the 618s are rhyming here. Very, very curious. Okay. The 1.618 also, my goodness. Okay, and actually, look, I'm gonna make this drawing here of the 1.618. Okay, look at this. Let me make sure I can make it as exact as I can. Okay. Right to that 294, right? Here we go. And notice the price action here and here. Okay, let me zoom in so that you can see just how that 618 is reacting. Okay, look at this. So all of that resistance and also in between these two candles here. Okay, so that's a range. That's another range that we can consider for our support touches. Okay, so let's do it just like this, from the wick high to the opening of that candle, and in relation with the 1.618. So now we have two areas of demand, two of which are considered to be a little less likely to touch. Okay, but let's validate with our momentum, right? So let's go ahead and load up our moving averages and also RSI. So let's see, we'll use the SMAs as well. And the feelings based on raw price action are right. We're suggesting a downside, right? So everything is good. And SMA 10 is landing in support of that 3.618, almost right to it. Okay, so we could face a very short-term bounce there, but I'm not sure that that's actually going to do it. This is still suggesting a heavier downside. Please notice on the daily, your SMA 200 in relation with the 1.618 almost directly on it, if not exactly on it, slightly past it. I'm very curious. Okay, let's continue validating. Let's go to the 30-minute. Let's see. All right, so this looks like it's facing an immediate downside, but it looks like it can face some support from the 14-day simple, which is in relation to the SMA 200 and the 30-minute 445. But it looks like this is consolidation. It's telling us consolidation with a slight bit of bearishness and bullish. So meaning that we're likely to do this and continue like this. Okay. So just literally the way it's like this, like the way it's doing it, right? Like continuing that same path. And it's very boring price action, but it's okay. Let's continue validating. Let's go to the bi-hourly. The bi-hourly with that stupid little pivot right there. We don't want to ever trust these tiny pivots because they tend to fail. Okay, I'm just saying that it's dangerous. But if we did face an upside, this is immediate. Okay, 2 hours. It's likely to live out within a few hours. Okay, so if we're looking at a limited upside, first of all, we're using that RSI signal in the 14-day as a form of resistance, right? So we can likely face a touch of the SMA 10, but let me load now the EMAs to see how close we can get that target. Yeah, it would be a balance between the EMA 7 and the EMA 30 and the SMA 10 at about 515 to about 502 if we're suggesting an immediate touch. If this happens to be a little bit of a larger jump, then the obvious target would actually be at 571. Very similar target that we were looking at on the larger term time frame just now. Let's go to the 6 hour now. Little pivot, we don't want to use those. We don't want to use those tiny pivots. Okay, so the 8 hour is suggesting a continuation to the downside. Okay, so again, my top target here would be between, let's see, would be between 483, right? It would be at the opening of this red candle and the wick high of this green candle here and the wick low of this candle, right? So all of that would be the correlation here, okay? So that would be my highest target. And we would favor it just like this, okay? So, and then right to that SMA 10. So this is likely the area of resistance that we're looking at for tomorrow, 561 tops, right? So it would be the space of between 530 to 561 before a continuation to the way down. And the way down would likely happen at the end of the session tomorrow or just after the mid-session in respects to the 8 hour time frame. Now let's go to the 12 hour. It should be face down too, but we'll see. Let's look. Okay, so this is, oh man, this is suggesting consolidation as well. Let's go to the daily, and that one is the one that was facing downside. Okay, so, and now let's look at the buy daily. Okay, so the buy daily is telling us that it is a limited downside. Okay, so that limited downside is absolutely in correlation with the space that we were looking at. 384 to about 370 before we face that support from the 14-day simple. And let's see, the 3-day. The 3-day is also suggesting a limited downside. So hold on. Almost there. And it looks like we start correcting after. Oh my goodness. Okay, guys. So this is it's suggesting downside before a continuation sideways. So the lowest target in respects to the 3-day, because this is quite a distance. This is now giving me the fact that we're going to touch at the 2.618, which by the way, the EMA 7 is very close to that 2.618 as well. We would touch this over maybe the second or third trading day, meaning Tuesday next week, right? So we would actually come down to eventually to this level here. And then by maybe Wednesday next week or Thursday next week, we'll eventually find the 1.618 support, which is also that gap from before, right? And then we're going to start doing this and trading a range. So this is literally what BBAI is telling me. Well, guys, we cannot rate this one, okay? This is a little too dangerous, and it's suggesting downside followed by consolidation. We don't want anybody trapped in that. So let me go ahead and end the analysis now for ticker symbol BBAI at 10:25 p.m. And we're going to leave this as no rating, okay? So all good, all good. No problem. Let's go ahead and move on to the next ticker, you guys, and we're going to look at RSLS. That ticker has been requested, I think, by Nuno. And I hope you're still in here, my dude. Let's go ahead and now look at your ticker, right? So moderators, go ahead and share your thoughts. Pam the trader right up here saying what's up. All right, so let's go ahead and continue. Paban, good to see you, man. All right, so we're officially starting the analysis for RSLS. At what time was this? Let's see. This is 10:26 p.m. Okay, you guys. So 10:26 p.m. officially starting RSLS. Okay. All right, all right. Man, geez, Louise, that's crazy. So I'm sure that you can already see that formation, just like always, right, you guys? So it's that very typical broadening descending wedge, and it's just in respects to the sentiment, to the broader markets, right? This is just anxiety at its best, and we have to kind of respect it in that fashion, you know, because it's just us. That we can't say anything else about it. Is really just us. Okay. Oh, nice. Curious touch here. It actually lines up very well with all of these touch points. So. What are we looking at here? 2, 3. Okay, so we have 3 tests of the resistance, 4 faked out, and then we actually made the breakout on test number 5, which is also a true breakout test. Okay. Let's move our averages in and see what we're looking at. Okay, so you'll start to see the repetitiveness of the discretion of my discretionary side. Samantha H, be very well, and I will catch you later. Good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you so much for your help. Okay, so in this case, you guys, we actually faced. Guys, make sure to say goodnight to Samantha. I'll catch you later, Samantha. I'm going to be planning something with the moderators, so I'll announce that in the Discord soon enough. We're facing the resistance from that SMA 200 right above here. Okay, you guys. So it's a dangerous area because the 200 on the daily is absolutely the area that we want to penetrate so that we can suggest a continuation to the upside in a macro perspective. I'm talking about macro reversal. Okay, so this is, if you want to know if we're in a bull market or in a bear market, go ahead and refer to any chart, open up your 200-day SMA on a daily, right? And then look at the price action if we're above it or below it. That's the easiest way to tell if we're on a bear cycle or in a bull cycle. Of course, there's more complicated things beyond that, right? Of course, but just it's one of the easiest ways to know. Okay, so what are we doing though? So let's go to the RSI and see what we have for momentum. Okay, so let's start it off with the immediate short term, 30-minute, right? Suggesting already a downside on this. Okay, so we're looking at a continuation to the downside, but it's very weak, and it's very much in respect to all of this consolidation here for the last 4 days. Okay, so AMC Ape, I hope all is well. Let's see. I've been sick the past couple of days. Did you touch on AMC tonight at all? Yeah. I actually did. I'll give you the time. That was looked at 9:28 p.m. And just look right up here. You can see my time, right? So exactly an hour ago, we covered it, my dude. Please refer to it and be safe. And I hope you feel better. But yeah, I talk about the broader markets too. Okay, so yeah, so we're still looking at consolidation in that 30-minute period. Also in the bi-hourly. Let's look at the 6 hour. It should, okay. Oh my goodness, man. This is consolidation too. RSLS is something that we could be stuck in. slightly bearish consolidation on the 12-hour as well. Okay, so let's move on to the daily. It's suggesting a little bit of a downside, okay? Wow. So the guys, this is dangerous because the thing is that we rejected from that SMA 200, right? So upon reclaiming the inside of the channel of the broadening descending wedge, that would now start to pose a little bit of a danger in trying to break out on test number 6, right? So if we're starting to break out on 7, then that would be a huge bull trap. Okay. Now, man, let's look at the buy daily. Okay, buy daily is suggesting a continuation to the downside indefinitely, and the 3-day is actually making a bearish cross. The 5-day is suggesting a limited downside. Okay, so that is in respects to the bottom side of our channel. All right, so this limited downside is suggesting, man, when we're already at the 52-week low, aren't we? Yeah, we're already there. And you would think that, okay, this is why I tell a lot of people, double bottoms fail. Okay, this is a double bottom that you're looking at here. Okay, but if you were to look at it in relation to the price action like this is more of a dead cat bounce. Okay, so dead cat bounces actually face a little bit of a retracement followed by a continuation to the downside, suggested by momentum as well. What I'm saying here is that over the next few days, we may see $4.04. If you are long this asset, please do not take it as financial advice, but I would seriously consider minimizing risk and or liquidating the position before facing some serious loss. Okay, so let's look at the 15-minute. Okay, so there is immediate downside on literally every time frame. Okay, so and then it's just going to be consolidating. Okay, so if, like I said, the best case scenario, and we're looking at an hourly here, and I cannot express to you how much this is unreliable, okay? But if we are to face any type of upside from that double bottom, it would likely be at the EMA 7 at about $5.60. I would do it probably $5.57. Just discretionary measures here, okay? This is dangerous. I'm not sure who actually suggested for me to look at this for thoughts, right? But it's definitely looking bearish. Please notice the SMA 50 crossing below the SMA 100 on the hourly, and also the 30-day exponential crossing the 200 SMA on the hourly. These are bad signs. Okay, so this is suggesting some downside and a continuation of it. In order for me to validate these, I would need to backtest the cross of these averages and these averages on the hourly chart throughout the entire trading history of the asset, which would be a little bit time consuming, right? But this is kind of what I'm looking at. Yeah, look at that. Cal-L, what's up, buddy? It looks like a ridiculous double top, right? So yeah, in respects to that, guys, whoever is long this, please consider minimizing your position or potentially liquidating it, because I can honestly see a potential continuation to the downside. Right? I regret saying I want my notifications up here. This thing every single time I'm working is like bloop 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 bloop. Especially in the earlier hours, like not at 10 p.m. What looks like Pikachu, man? On the hourly, the double top. Oh my goodness, it looks like Pikachu. That's the Pikachu top. That's the Pikachu capitulation. I try to say that 5 times fast. Pikachu capitulation. I can already hear all of you saying it in your heads. All right, so let's go ahead and I'm sorry, you guys. I don't mean to play mind games like that. It's so stupid. Let's go. Guys, we're not going to rate this one. This is a little dangerous, okay? So we're going to leave this as we're going to end it, first of all, at 10:34 p.m. and leave it as a no rating. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Andrew, I totally heard you. Pikachupulation? Cal-L, man, I miss you, my dude. What? Dude, yesterday I actually woke up. After 3 hours of sleep. And I woke up to do the videos early, which is why I released all of them like by about 4 or 5 p.m., right? Oh my goodness, man. And I ended up falling asleep after James went to sleep, and I was just so I was so dizzy, dude. Oh my goodness. Yesterday was a serious day. And then also Hound saying, I don't want to be here no more, man. But I'm waiting for your DM, Hal. Hound, sorry. Let's see. Steven, Steven, send me a DM on Discord, please. We gotta, or on Twitter, sorry. I think it's Twitter that you reach out to me, right? So we'll look at it there as well. Refer to that ticker, HPCO. I'll look at it for you. And Pikachu Cabra says, Cryptic Trader. Man, I almost thought you were telling me, Arca, can you look at ticker symbol PICA? I don't want to look at Pika. Cal Ella has actually gotten me so many times with those tickers in the past, man. That's ridiculous. Never do that to me again, you guys. All right, so guys, let's go ahead and now move on to the next. Let's move on to the next ticker, okay? Wyckoff G, where you been at, man? I didn't even see you here the whole damn time, bro. Guys, Wyckoff G actually is a very knowledgeable trader, guys. Make sure to give him a follow. Say hello to him. Follow him on Twitter. Follow him on his YouTube. Very kind person, okay, to share all that knowledge with us, with the community for BBIG and all that stuff, okay? Wyckoff G, have a good night, my dude. Good to see you here, my bro. Pikachu was you? No way. I'm not even looking at the names. Oh, damn. Bro, I'm telling you, I was just telling Cal I was so tired, bro. I'm literally dizzy right now. So, guys, do not take anything I say ever as viable information, all right? So, be safe, Wyckoff. Love you, my dude. Be careful out there. All right, so, yeah. In fact, let me open up the window because I'm not kidding, feeling a little dizzy. And my girls outside actually have the heater on. Oh, dude. They get cold over anything, right? So being in the studio with all the gear, that's not good. It gets really hot in here, and I'm actually starting to see a little double. So Kal-El saying, I knew you were tired when you ended last night's stream with an F-bomb. I was already like, screw all this, man. I don't care. Like, right, guys, yeah, man, it's been a little bit of a tough run. But, guys, let's go ahead and take a look at the next ticker, which is going to be ticker symbol WISA. Oh, my goodness, man. Guys, I don't know what the... Let me take a drink of water here. Yeah. All right. So, what happened? What? Guys, what happened to this ticker? Wait, hold on. Why is it doing that? Why is WSA so ridiculous like this? Hold on. No, I haven't started it. Oh, what? What is that? Guys, this thing split. What? There's a reverse split of 1 to 100. Oh God, man. Okay, whoever was asking me for WISA, let me see how many daily candles there are. There isn't even one. The whole chart. Oh God, look at this. That's why it's happening. Okay, so this is where I charted it, right? And now, where I charted it, and everything just shifted to the upside, of course, because of the 1 to 1 ratio, 1 to 100 ratio. Oh my goodness, man, that is truly annoying. Okay, so where's the price action at now? So let's see, 620, 1468. What? Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you for 1 second. I don't think I can actually do anything about this. This is, other than stay the hell away from this. The chart. Man. Yeah, guys, I'm not gonna do this. We can't look at. There's no way I'm gonna give you any analysis on like 4 candles. Okay, so like there's no way I can do anything with this. Okay, so this is really. I mean, yeah, T-Wood, it's suggesting a continuation to the downside, but aside from that, it's just like this thing reverse split the 1 to 100 ratio, and now I can't. It's just like everything that we were looking at was over here. You know what I mean? And please notice, I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, but everything has been meeting to our details here. So, but now I see why people were asking me like, what's going on with this? But guys, I honestly don't know what's going on with this. So this is, man, some people looking on a 12-hour chart, looking at this like Is that a gap fill from 11 cents to $6? Guys, no. I can't. I actually will. Hedge Fund Killers was the one who asked me about this, and I wish that I can give him more. But there's no way I can look at this. Like I'm talking about, if I look at it in the hourly chart, short-term upside, right? Continuation to the downside in the bi-hourly and the 4-hourly, 8-hour, suggesting a continuation to the downside. But how viable is that information in comparison to the very limited amount of candles we have since the ratio split, since the 1-to-100 the RS, right? It's still suggesting downside. The only thing I could the only thing I can suggest here is taking a fib. Not even that. Wow. Okay. So let me take an inverse fib from the last 12-hour candle, and that's a very tiny range. Actually, let me do the whole day's iteration. Maybe like this. Okay. We can't do anything with the moving averages, because if the moving averages, if I pull them up, I promise you they're going to be like shifted, flashed all the way to the top like crazy, and then they're all scattered around. Let's see. See that? There's nothing I can do with that, okay? But if we're going to use them, I don't have anything immediate. Let me see the EMAs. Oh, dude, this is so tough. Okay, if it were me longing this, right? If I was already long this and I'm just losing money, I would say the 1 spot 272 and the 1 spot 618, 577 to 525 in respects to the EMA 30. Okay, so, oh man, yeah. So it would be to the EMA 30, and then I know there's no way I can tell you that it's gonna drop from freaking $6 to $2. There's no way I know that. Okay, so this is the only thing. If Hedge Fund Killers gets to see this later, if you're in here, my dude, this is the best I can hopefully give you. Okay, without losing, without losing extreme credibility here, right? So the downside is being respected sort of by the SMA 10 and. I'm sorry, the SMA 10 and the EMA 7. So it looks like we're using them as a guide, right? So since we're using them after a crazy flash like this, then we can only assume. That's why I'm saying that I can't do anything, is because it's all assumption, and I hate assumption. There's nothing really tangible here, okay? So the EMA 30 would be the next touch. And I would say pretty likely, since we're respecting this, okay? So please be careful with this, but we're not going to rate this, okay, you guys? And I'm going to just, I don't even know when the hell I started this. It may have been, 10:36, I think, maybe. 10:36 p.m. We'll end this guy. It went down to 265 after the offering. Wow. Very interesting. Yeah, let's not rate this, man. Okay, so 10:36 to 10:43 p.m. And let's leave this with a no rating. We're gonna go ahead and add those the timestamps, guys. Please remember. Oh, it's 10:37. Thanks, dude. Appreciate you, my brother. 10:37 p.m. And yeah. By the way, Mark, if you have tickers, also, just we can also look at them on Discord. Okay, my dude. Please reach out to me. Whatever you need. So let's go ahead and now continue our analysis with ticker symbol CFRX. And let's go ahead and just officially start it right now, right? So and following this is actually GTII. So 10:43 p.m. is when we're officially starting. Okay, gotcha. So Google and Tesla. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it through Discord, my dude. Because I can. Because I can actually give you some information and images that you can actually keep, right? So, Google and TSLA, cool. All right, guys. So let's look at CFRX. And sorry, Garbini, did you talk about AVRO? If so, I'll go back and watch it. Otherwise, can you give some thoughts on it? So, Garbini, I've actually never even heard of the ticker. I do have, I'm not going to be able to actually go through all the tickers tonight, guys, but I will put it in the list, okay? So, and if we don't look at it tonight, please rest assured that we will look at it in the next live stream, okay? So that's going to be, what did you say was, AVRO? Cool. All right, cool. 1044. All right, so 1044 is adjusted. Got it, man. Thank you, thank you. Okay, officially starting at 10:44 p.m. CFRX. All right, so the last time we rated this was actually a C plus, and actually based on this right angle triangle, we actually are respecting market geometry as the price action eventually went right to the price objective. Which, by the way, you can, if you're new to the channel, you can actually take a trend line, right? Take it from that hypotenuse of the triangle, the top side, and all the way to the lower end, and apply it to that point of breakout, and that gives you a price objective. So when I was talking about CFRX last, I said that the suggestion or the price objective of this formation would likely be in respects to touching and validating our support from the broadening descending wedge, which was actually fulfilled. And it actually created a little bit of a dead cat bounce right here. So if we're still suggesting downside, then the obvious target here would unfortunately be about 527 in respects to the daily chart. Okay, so let's, I mean, all the moving averages are above us right now in the daily time frame. So let's go ahead and refer to momentum on the immediate short term, right? Garbini, absolutely trying my best for you guys, okay? Okay, so the immediate short-term time frame is suggesting an upside continuation. Very, very curious. Did any of you hear that in the background by chance just now? Let me know in the chat if you heard that in the background. It was something from the other room. I want to know if my mic is really that sensitive. It's actually kind of far away from me, my mic. It's not far. I'm just saying a good like foot away from my face, which is every time I listen back to my mic, I'm like, wow, it sounds so up close to everybody, when in fact it's like a foot away. So there's an upside continuation here on the 30-minute immediate short term. That gives us already a topside target, but I don't want to. Let me see if we have some EMAs in here, as those are probably likely the ones. Oh, you heard me only? Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure, as I think my toddler over there just I don't know if it was either a fart or a burp right by my door. But he was right there doing his little stuff. Just heard me? Okay, good deal. Oh, man, my little guy. He'll be over there amplifying his farts on the door, on the walls. So let's look at the bi-hourly now. Guys, I'm sorry I said that. Okay, it's just a funny life being a dad. I'm sure many of you know exactly what that is. Oh, my goodness. All right, so the limited upside on the 30-minute is very likely to actually be faced. Let's see. So 30-minute upside, you can actually look at that limitation on the bi-hourly, and that could be that 636. Between actually I can give you a range between the EMA 7 and the SMA 10. It's going to be limited though, and that would be between about 643 and 637 on the bi-hourly. And the reason why I'm saying this is because the price action is suggesting a continuation to the downside. 6 hour, nice little hammer here, but I wouldn't consider that. It would need to be a little longer. It would need to be more like this, right, in order for it to validate a move to the upside. So when you get an inverted hammer at the downtrend, the middle, this is kind of a validator for the upside, of which it did face, right? So if you have a candle way larger right prior to this one, right, it's probably not worth it. It's probably not worth giving it any credit. Okay, so Mark Roach saying, best job in the world for me being a dad. I love it, man. Me too. T Wood, have a good night, man. Appreciate you stopping by. Yeah, we probably will expect some more red on the tickers tomorrow. Oh my goodness, man. It's just whale games right now, man, with the whole CPI and data releases and stuff. 12 hours suggesting downside. The daily is also suggesting a slight downside here. Okay, so if the 12 hour and the if the 12 hour and the daily are suggesting a limited downside, then we could likely be prepping ourselves for, I don't want to say a damn double bottom. It's just, let's continue. I don't want to ever say that. So, and now the 5 day, oh goodness gracious, all this limited data here. Okay. The limited downside is in respects to the 586 zone, okay? And that would likely face a bounce. But I'm not sure if it'll be the end-all, be-all bounce here, okay? So as this, because we still have this area of about 516 very close to us, That's why I'm saying that we may actually have to validate this support, literally the last candle wick low. We're gonna have to validate this. Yeah, and then we would actually have to see if we're gonna make that downside or the upside. And the reason why I'm saying that is because the 3-day and the 5-day are just consolidation, straight sideways. Okay, so CFRX. Let's not rate this. We don't want to go into this and get trapped forever and ever and ever and ever. Okay, so let's end the analysis for 10:50 p.m. CFRX, and that is going to be a no rating as well. Man, a bunch of stale tickers today. All right, there's no rating on so many. The all-time low. Yeah, oh my goodness, look at that. Abner Cruz, Arca, my brother, your chat is full and my messages are lonely. LOL. Can you look at SOUN and COMS? Yeah, man, absolutely. So I actually have I have to respect the schedule though. So Abner, let me go ahead and shoot you over the personals, right? And I'll give you those thoughts as well, my dude. So what you saying? Abner, that was SOUN. You said okay, SOUN and. Actually, oh, that's right. And I asked you I told you that I don't even remember what I was supposed to tell Claire, but I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. It's just sometimes I forget about these things. There's so much noise all the time, right? Andres, GMBL is on the list, man. Is actually on the list from actually George. I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to get all the way down there, my dude, but we will on the following on the following live session, right? So. Please know for a fact that I don't want to miss you guys, okay? I want to make sure that we can look at these. You're the man, Abner. I hope you're good at work, man. I know you've been putting those OTs, right? Good thing for the wallet, but just terrible for the schedule. All right? You get a little limited. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue on the analysis, guys. And yeah, Steven, this is endless tickers right now, man. My goodness. We're going to have to call the ticker picker the endless tickers. All right, so let's go ahead and now officially start off the analysis on GTII. Okay, you guys, I know that some of you were, actually a few of you, were requesting for me to look at this, even though we already released a video expressing some deep thoughts. Rosaura Martinez, qué pasión contigo. Let me see. Hi, Arca. I took a nap and placed an alarm just to join in today. Love your video. Keep doing what you do. What? No way. Wait, are you in the East Coast? Are you here in the West Coast? Or what is the deal? And you put an alarm. That is so kind of you. I love you. Thank you so much. You're so awesome. Stephen Dumaine, but the vid is perfect. Oh man, I loved it. All right, so now Cryptic Trader saying when Lambo, GTII. Well, we need to Datsun 1988, Datsun first, and then Lambo. All right, so let's go ahead and finish off the analysis of GTII now that we know what to do. All right, just kidding. So let's go ahead and now start off the analysis officially on GTII. Thanks, Mark Roach. Let's adjust it a little bit to 10:53 p.m. GTII Prius, and then we go. Rosaura, you're saying North Carolina, very, very cool. I appreciate you so much. And so it's probably late as hell over there right now, right? Are you 3 hours ahead? 11, 12. No way. It's 2 in the morning. Guys, this is why I'm telling you, man. My toddler's got me on a terrible schedule. I really wish that I can start these live streams at maybe 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. so that we can get the East Coast and the West Coast to meet here and not rumble like freaking Biggie and Tupac. All right. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and start it again. All right, 10:53 p.m. I'm getting mad distracted here, you guys. My apologies. All right, so this is the very dangerous video that I loaded today, okay, you guys? So to answer the questions and the concerns that everybody had regarding, regarding, we all know it was the best side. No, man. I just, in my head, I'm like, what side? All right? Guys, do not do that. All right. We're professionals here, all right? Respect the office. Can't even buy a bike yet. Ugh, GTII. Amy, stop distracting me. All right, so the obvious answers here, the questions presented to me were, Arca, are we still looking at the $118 million target that you're looking at? Well, Yes, to answer the question in short, yes, I am. And the reason why, but man, guys, please remember that it's a huge outlier. Okay, the 3,200% is not only a huge statistical upside, but I forget to do this every time, but I wanted to do this for everybody. Yeah, $118 million target, right? Like AMC, we're going there. All right. So this iteration here, based on the start of I'm talking about critical volatility here. We started a contraction phase alongside momentum pitch to the upside, which is literally the conditions that we're looking for. I mean, that we started actually since all the way down here. Okay, so that's pretty much what happened. Okay, we started making that upside based on the contractive, expansive levels, right? This iteration is an outlier. This is this is almost 19,000% to the upside. Okay, from literally 0 cents to 76 cents. Oh my God, man. That made, like, I'm sure millionaires were built out of that. Billionaires out of $14 entry were made out of GTII by that move, right? So this is an outlier, and I want to reconfigure the stats to see if we have a different result without this. Okay, but it exists. Okay, it's there for a reason. I have to take it into account into the probabilities. I know, man. I thought I was going to eliminate it too, but it's just there's so many tickers. It's the endless ticker picker for Arca here, right? I forget, and I have to like refer to 14,000 notes that I have every single day. All right, so Keith, you're still awake, my dude. 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, bro. Don't you have to be at work like in 2.5 hours? Okay. All right. So yeah, the questions, the obvious questions, okay? The ones that are saying, Arca, do you still see that upside happening? I do, okay? Now, the other reason why I haven't eliminated that huge outlier is because it has to do very much with the take profit or the price objective of the triangle, okay? Please remember this. We can take this triangle trend line all the way to the bottom, right? Hypotenuse to the bottom end of the lowest point of that triangle, right? And then we apply it to the point of breakout. So applying it into that breakout zone takes us to that 20, man, it's 24 freaking bucks. Like it has a lot to do with the statistical upside of 3,000%, right? So literally between 18 and 24 or 18 and 22 or 21, whatever I've been saying, it's a statistical upside, which happens to be playing out pretty nicely. Okay. But the thing is that there is an ebb and flow to kind of respect here, okay? Because AMC and GNS and all these other tickers are doing the same cycle to the upside, okay? Now, the cycle that I'm looking at is this here, if you remember correctly, okay? This one right over here, and this is where I practice the time fractals that I usually hate to express. Okay, time fractals don't always play out, but if we were to play them and practice them in this case, we're landing at the bottom side of $1.01 or $1.02, which actually has a lot to do with the current price action, suggesting a continuation to the downside with the date. Okay, look at the dates down here. That's CPI date. So my huge speculation here. And it's very, very dangerous to say this. I actually expressed how nervous I was even saying it, right? Because I'm sure that freaking video must be in 1,000 views already or more, right? So the fact that I'm saying that the market cycles based on so many repetitive of this same thing throughout every ticker is suggesting that the CPI may be a good read, but I don't know that. Okay, I don't officially know that. I'm just saying that formation analysis and fractal theory combined with statistics is suggesting that this may be that bottom before actually facing an upside and a positive catalyst. The upside that I'm looking at here is not random. This upside of about $3.80 actually has to do with an additional back test that I ran. Okay, and that's now, aside from the 3-day back test that I ran a 5-day back test of volatility versus momentum, of which is, by the way, this is way more aggressive to the upside than the 3-day. Okay, the 3-day is actually suggesting that upside with a little bit of a notch, right? And we're contracting right now, potentially, realizing this linear regression. But on the 5-day, this this back-to-back, volatility, critical volatility retracement is, and then suggesting the contraction period with this pivot is super aggressive. So this is why I'm saying that the 380 mark is not random. We're looking at a total of 9 iterations throughout the entire trading history of GTII on the 8-hour chart. Okay, so yeah, I see that, Keith. All right, so what I'm basically saying is that the probabilities are just, I hate that we have such little iterations, right? But it's just the fact that we have 9 total iterations and only one of which, by the way, was the most recent one, was guessed wrong, right? That gives us an averaged upside accuracy of 89% to the upside, which when now with the upside thrust, we're looking at an 183.05% over the span of about 25 and 3/4 days. If we're looking at the firing of the signal from this, it fired off at the opening of this candle here, being at about $1.15 on January 25th. So that upside has since realized 160% of that 183. It's fair to say, it really is. It's fair to say that this move of 183.05 has already been completed. But there's a small detail here. Look at momentum, still with an aggressive upside. So even still that we had this huge capitulation here, it's still faced to the upside. That is not only telling me that the play is still on, but it's also telling me that the likelihood of reaching the 183% is highly likely. And what is that additional percentage leading to? 160 plus 23% leads us to about $3.74. Does that rhyme? It's actually right up here. So 380 is what I'm essentially looking at, or if we can adjust it even to about 374, right? So in this case like this, look, I'll show you. So let me just find wherever that damn pivot is for this freaking iteration. If we were to just move this downside like this to about 374 or wherever that can be, it's very important that we look at this, okay? So this is insinuating that we're essentially going to fail the resistance of this channel on the next up run. And that's very important. And in fact, I very much would love to see this fail and not reach $4.07. And I'll tell you why. Because of the golden rule of 3. Golden rule of 3. Test number 1, 2, and 3 is usually the test that is faced before failing this overall bearish formation. Okay, so the fact that we would fail this is very good news, because then we could actually capitulate, come back down to get some more bulls up in this train, right? We'll load them up at about $1.67 and then make our trek to about $6.23 by, I don't know, maybe March 22nd, around there. Okay, so that's why I'm saying that this target is not random. And in fact, it has a lot to do with our formation and statistically backed. So this is why I'm saying that I'm practicing a combination of statistical analysis and fractal theory. So, which is something I'm very uncomfortable with doing. Okay, but but in this case, it's applicable, right? We can apply it to there. So now, the downside. Okay, so if we're implying that we're going to touch $1 or $2 right back down here, right? I'll get to that, Cryptic. If we're insinuating that we're going to drop to this area of 101, then we have to look no further than our descending triangle. Why? Because the newly converted resistance into now a support just so happens to land at where? Look at the price. It's suggesting about $2 or $3. Okay, so that's all of this is absolutely in line with the statistical upside. Oh my goodness, man. It's just, this is just a lot of, it's a lot of rhyming, and it's now rhyming with fractal, which is just another monster in itself. So, oh man, Jimmy Sam's, oh man, I can hear the kid screaming in the background. Yeah, he's pretty mad that I'm still in here, but it's all good. It's all good, you know? So that's I'm telling you guys that this is the fact that it's telling us that we're going to go back down here. I'm talking about our channel. Just the damn formation analysis is telling us that we're going to come back down here. The curious thing is that coming back down to this exact level would lead us to the CPI date, insinuating that it would be a positive read, because the damn 3-day statistics are still suggesting the freaking upside of 3,000%, and it's still upward. What the hell is going on here? So I'm literally pairing formation with statistics, and then I'm pairing fractal with statistics on a 5-day. Oh my goodness, man! This has been a really, really difficult ticker to actually track, right? But if I see these things, trust me when I say that smart money sees it too. They, and in fact, see it in a deeper level than I do. And why is that? Is because they have the damn algos going through harder than I do. So the real Conquer saying, bro, your TA is on point. Your channel will get big soon. Dude, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I know that there's like anomalies, like Ant Trader or whatever. He's only been around for like a week or two or whatever, practicing AMC, and now he's at like almost 10,000 subs, right? But I'm not looking at one ticker. I'm looking at several tickers, and over the span of 3 months, I'm at 5,500 subs. I never knew that was gonna happen, man. I never banked for that. I never wanted this, in fact. Okay, so if AMC actually rips to the upside, you'll see his thing go to 100K, right? But I didn't want to do that, guys. I didn't want to just focus on one ticker. And in fact, I kind of hated AMC because of what it did to me, right? So I stayed away from it as much as possible. But I've been releasing videos once every 2 weeks over the last 3 months, right? So it's not like I'm brand new to AMC. I have been releasing them. It's just at a slower level because I'm like so like butthurt over it, right? But still, like it's just there's a high demand over it, and there's so many people emailing me like, dude, can you please look at your the AMC ticker? Can you please look at Ape? Can you please? So it got so dense that I had to eventually, kind of submit and say, guys, yes, I will, and I will help as best I can. Because it will also help me because I'm long the damn ticker for 15 months now. Weston Harris, what's up, buddy? Greatness is trusted upon some Arca. Thank you, man. Thank you. Mark Roach, 5.36K subs. Congratulations. Thank you, my dude. I actually just broke that 5K, 2 days ago? It's already 360 subs up. I don't even know how that happened. But Cryptic Trader, man, I won't trade AMC even if it goes to 1 million. I won't care. Yeah, dude, it's bet we can look at the other opportunities and make safer bets, right? Based on statistics and whatever else. So yeah, GTII is still looking. it's looking like a moonshot here, man. It's still doing it for me. I don't know what else to say about it other than it's still in play, and in fact even more, because here's a quick little thing for you guys. As we start to notice volatility in critical conditions in several time frames, like for example here, you see how we're retracing from a critical time frame, insinuating that the 3-day will essentially reach this and then follow it. All right, so I'm curious about it now. Actually, let's see. So the buy daily is at critical. Okay, so the daily, let's see. I've never done this before. It's at critical, 12-hour. Let's see the 12-hour. Come on. So 12 hours now starting a contraction phase, but it just recently came from critical. So, okay. Let's look at the 8-hour. So the 8-hour also just reversed from critical. I'm talking about yesterday, guys. Like recently. I'm sorry. I'm talking within the last like few days, right? The second is what it's saying there. This didn't reverse from critical. So we have arguably a few areas that are in critical. The weekly is in critical too. The bi-weekly is in critical. And okay, so we have bi-weekly, weekly, 5-day, 3-day, 2-day, and the daily and man, so up to the daily. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 time frames in critical volatility. Guys, when we start to see that, that's when you can start to see a likely macro move. And I've been talking about this for months. I don't want to say months. I want to say more weeks and weeks, right? Because I've only been active for 3 damn months, but it feels like months. But I've been talking about this macro move starting forever, right? And everybody's been saying like, oh, Arca, blah, 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 blah. I don't care, man. It's just the numbers. They're saying what they're saying. I'm not going to say anything else. So, yeah. GTII is still looking like a massive animal to me, and I think it honestly will continue to the upside after a validation of our support at about 101 or $1. Remember that yes, as long as we touch that $1 zone, that's cool. But the thing is that similar to CEOS, like this here, when I said we have to come back now, guys, is like this is our target, the 3.618. We went slightly above it, right? I'm not perfect. Okay, so it went above the 3.618. And then I said, guys, this is going to come back down now. We have to validate our newly converted resistance into support. And then right here, Arca, you were wrong because it failed the support. Like, guys, come on, man. We're talking about price here. Price and volume. Like, I mean, volume itself is a random walk, you know? And price is just, it's, oh my goodness, man. So it failed it, right? But we reclaimed it and validated and then made that target to the upside just like it should have, right? So that's what it's just know that I'm saying that we would go back to $1, right? But that $1 mark could very well be 90 cents, could very well be a wick to 85, could very well be a wick to 96. There's variance within this because there's a lot of people involved in it. Okay, you guys, so that's I'm going to end GTII there. I just wanted to make sure that you guys know how important it is what I'm looking at right now. So, and it's a very nerve-wracking subject that I actually touched on with GTII for now. Okay, you guys, so this is a very psychologically driven play, and because it's so psychologically driven, I don't want to rate it, okay? Because the last thing I want is for anybody to be stuck in the freaking ticker, you know, because of whatever else. So yeah, you guys, let's go ahead and officially end. Beso AB saying, take a deep breath. Ooh, maybe I should take a swig of water. So yeah, you guys, so that's going to officially end it now. And you know what? I've actually been getting a lot of requests regarding COSM, guys. So let's take a look at COSM. And I'm going to also, guys, we have time for one more ticker after COSM. Let's look at ticker symbol TSLA. And we shall continue this. So Cryptic Trader saying if any of the GTII catalysts hit, then it will change everything. Actually, yeah, Keith earlier was just talking to me about the whole the whole finding of the naked shares being traded through Prime Broker, I think it was. And that just happened last week. Whoa, that is an animal all by itself. Huge catalyst. So if that happens, oh man. I mean, I know it already happened, but when are they supposed to be in court? Does anyone know that? So what's for tomorrow? Yeah, we can see that real quick. Hold on. I know that we were actually looking at the macro perspective, right? So, 8 hour. Okay, so there's a very short-term upside, and that upside it can actually be viewed with some SMAs. Hold on. Let's load up the EMAs real quick. Man, this is I'm telling you guys, there's a GTII is a huge animal. And now let's take a fib. And this is the hourly chart, by the way. I want to see just how close we can get. Okay, so the range The range between, I don't know that it can actually reach this high tomorrow, because we have these little pivots that I really don't like to see. These, look, and this, those pivots are very, they're not reliable really. So what's really curious here is that the 4 hour, the hourly, what the hell is going on? The hourly is already in a huge overbought level. Of course we can still oversold, sorry. Of course we can still oversell. Actually, in all reality, we can oversell infinitely. It's just, it's an averaged and delayed indicator, right? So all the indicators really are. But 10 percentile, that's really low. But in this case, historically speaking, the average of reversal looks like it would be around 25%. And where are we now? We're at about 23. So the average around the reversal on the hourly is around where we are now. So what I'm saying is that there is a short-term upside, but please notice why I can't give these credit, okay? Look at the pivot here. Tiny pivot, right? Upside, and then tiny pivot here. Upside, and then tiny pivot here, upside, and then it fails. So it's only leading me to believe that's going to be the case again here, right? So it's only going to get to a point to where it's going to eventually stop, because we're already pretty oversold. Now, the buyout, the 4 hour is also suggesting that same little pivot as well. We don't want to trust these pivots, right? So this is, and also the fact that we're well within the bear strength percentile here. So this is likely to face some more downside. The 8 hour is essentially validating that downside, and so is the daily, okay? Where it starts to limit is actually starting from the buy daily. The 3-day is showing that we have a very limited downside to go. So if we're looking at the 3-day, because that's the one that's important to me now. Yep, the 3-day is the one. Okay, so that means that the triangle, it's just, it all leads back to the triangle. It's all leading back to $1. So I'm literally looking at a potential continuation of a little bit of sideways trading, followed by a continuation to the downside by the end of day tomorrow. So let me just refer to the momentum once again. The downside, let me see the 6 hour. Yeah, the downside could actually start happening towards middle of the session, towards the end of the session tomorrow. Okay, you guys, so that's essentially what I'm looking at. And we may not actually touch down all the way to the dollar. I'm not saying that it's going to be a straight shot to the dollar. I'm just saying that it's going to start officially starting at the 6 hour or the 8 hour mark. So meaning that by 12 or by 11 or 12, and then starting into the post market, like that's when we can start to see that continuation. And this, my dude, I couldn't express to you just how important it is to touch that, because this would essentially load up. I'm probably going to load a little more. I'm just going to be as transparent as I could be, right? Because it's $1. It's freaking cheap. So, and in comparison to the possibilities, right? This is ridiculous. I already gave you $6 target and an $18 target. So, man, and I'm not even, guys, I don't practice the shares, right? I know I already ended GTII, but I'm going to have to re-end it again, right? But I don't practice the naked shares. What the hell, Cryptic Trader? You got 20K? Oh my God, for going at $1. My dude, you're about to see some serious price movement on this, and we're going to be like, our portfolios look dope. Your cost basis in GTII, Jimmy Sam's, is 189. Okay, so yeah, I wouldn't consider averaging anywhere until we reach the space between 96 and $1. So Jimmy Sam's, I just got a hold. Could have sold either this week to buy back in. Oh well, yeah, I get you. It's this is following a trend. Okay, this is following a trend in which we have to respect, because it's just statistics and everything is suggesting that we continue. All right, so I'm gonna be very transparent with you guys. I may actually, you want a Lambo, damn, you may actually see some type of bounce happen from that. I'm gonna say it again, 96 to about $1 or $3. Sorry, 96 to $3 is essentially the area that I'm looking for a huge demand on this, and that would essentially push us into a weird upside. So the dangerous thing behind this is that these are getting larger, these candles, right? So they're getting larger, which means that they'll essentially flash our momentum. So it's going to be a balance between psychology and statistics down here. So meaning that psychology loads and repumps it facing, then it would actually make the physics then start to favor the upside yet again. And also, let's see. No, yeah, that's about it. Yeah, GTII is very special. it's there could be some real price action. Yeah, I'm thinking next week we can actually see a potential bounce. Maybe, right? So Cryptic Trader, hi Arca, do you notice how the candles look almost exactly like the last move? That's what I mean. It's just that's what you're looking at is like kind of like a fractal, right? Even this, like they start to increase. They start to increase because like the sentiment gets so deep into it. Okay, I'm gonna do you a solid, Andrew. We're gonna look at Tesla and BBBY. Okay, so let's do that. Let's do that tonight. I want to just make sure that I catch I want to make sure that I catch my Discord requests tonight as well. Okay, you guys. So let's just, and I know BBBY was actually something that I was supposed to do from yesterday, which I already had up. So we will look at that. Okay, so let's move on to ticker symbol TSLA. Okay, no, Andrew, not a problem, my dude. Over here, man. Just trying to provide good information for the communities, right? So yeah, let's go ahead and officially start off our analysis and end GTII at a corrected 11:21 p.m. So let's go ahead and now look at ticker symbol TSLA, all right? As this will actually help favor my moderator too. So TSLA, perfect. All right. So let's type in Tesla. Let's see. Where was our last? I think we looked at it when, let's see. 26, maybe this one here. Okay, good stuff. Tesla, man, geez. When I was telling everybody down here, right? Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, so let's open up the daily. Sorry, it's a little cluttered. I'm actually going to remove the moving averages. And also, I'm going to be removing some old fibs as well. Like, for example, this one is done. As that upside actually eventually met. Man. Tell me it didn't reach it without telling me. Jeez, look at this. Okay, this is a dangerous thing here, you guys. This is dangerous because we have this... oh, man. We have a shooting star being printed on the daily here. And this is truly a shooting star. And why is it truly a shooting star? Because it left a gap. So that gap is actually between 204.72 and about 203. So this is getting a little dangerous, and it's actually in respects to how overextended we are. But very curious that the daily is still suggesting a continuation to the upside and reconfiguring its pivot. It looks like it started getting a little more aggressive even still, suggesting strength in the broader markets in general. Okay, so let's refer to momentum on the 30-minute and see what we got for the immediate short term. This is insane, man. When I said I was bullish Tesla about a week ago, I didn't know that it was that bullish. Even though I still gave you the target, right? But it's just sometimes I'm like, it's just the probabilities are landing there, but I'm not sure that I can do it. Right? So Arca AMC, that was 9:28 p.m. 9:28 p.m. was exactly when I started the AMC ticker, you guys. So what the heck? Oh my goodness. Somebody just texted me that a new Linkin Park song came out since you know, I was like 16 years old when I listened to them. I was a big fan when I was young. Right, I'm very curious to see what they came out because Chester is not there anymore. All right, so consolidation in the 30-minute. Let's move on. Bi-hourly is bi-hourly suggesting an upside and moving that 14-day. Nice. Okay, we're using the bounce. What is this? No way. Is this for real? Limited downside. Okay, so limited downside would literally take us to bounce from the exact zone where we're at right now, 205.30, and the channel. I'm sorry, the broadening descending wedge. Interesting. Okay, now let's go to the 12-hour. It corrects and it continues. What? All right. Reloading zone. I'm going to give it to you between best case scenario. Best case, $200.03, right? To 205.30. That would be reloading for an upside continuation. And if momentum is suggesting that much of an upside for for days, then that's insinuating that we're about to get a good CPI read as well, which is very stupid to say. I hate saying that. The reason we're retracing is likely because we're coming back to test a newly converted resistance into support. All right, so oh my goodness. And was there any ticker you guys covered in a buy zone? Johnny. So I in today's analysis, maybe two of them, dude. And I think it was KPRX maybe, and also GNS. Look at them. So that's 9:55 and 9:26 and 9:55 p.m. Right? So maybe those two, they're C+ ratings, but everything else has been kind of dull. But yeah, so what I'm suggesting here, guys, is that are you talking about Tesla? The price target for Tesla for the reloading? I'm waiting for you, my dude. I want to make sure that I get you situated. Because sometimes people would comment and it's actually from like 20 minutes ago. Right? And I'll be like, what did you just say, bro? I don't understand what that means. So yeah, let's see, Mr. Zur from Sweden. What's up, man? Good morning to you, my dude. All right. So yeah, if you're referring to the loading zone, to sell. Okay, to sell. All right. It's very dependent. That's very dependent on what's going to happen with the CPI read. First of all, this is a critical area that we're facing for support. Okay, as we're getting into, you're in at 207, literally right now, like for real. What was the after hours? 207.95. Okay, so you're literally long right here. That's I'm not gonna lie, Nick. That is so aggressive. That is so aggressive that you're in at the validating point. It's not for every trader to do that, but it is there. Okay, so let's see. Assuming that we get a good CPI read, let's take an additional fib of the. Let me do it from the daily. Okay. And let's see if it matches our target still. Okay, so let's zoom in. The first target would likely be at this wick low, to the opening of this candle, to the closing of this candle, to the wick low of this candle, and also in between all of these candles here. Oh my goodness. So that's giving high relevance to just above the 1 spot 272. So it would be just under the 1 spot 618 at 219. I would do it something like this. Something like this right here. And please remember, it's really discretionary for me to do that with these candles here. So 217 to 219, right? And the next zones are actually, they're very, very nicely correlated. But if I were to get a little tighter than this, because we're in the 3 spot 618 in the larger time frame, then a closer target for me to you would be still the 2-spot 272. In this case, in the larger case, the 3-spot, right? So in this case, we're looking at the 2-spot 272 to the 2-spot 618 to be very clear. Now, it's not only because it's 2-spot 618, it's because of these candles here, the wick low of this candle here, the support here, right? And the wick low here. So there's a lot of relevance to it. So it's playing geometry very nicely. So this is essentially what I'm looking at in about 2 weeks, a week and a half. And this is essentially what I'm looking at in about a few days or less even. This can shoot up right here almost in about 2 days. I mean, seeing the price action, how it's been moving, if you take one candle iteration from this point, it'll take us just under the 1-spot 272. So we can see this in about a day or two. So, and it looks like we may actually realize that, because now the markets may start pumping to the upside upon the data release, the economical release. So Tesla is up 12,000% since June. Dude, when I was telling everybody, you mean? Geez. I was like, guys, we may have found the floor here. You know, I'm not afraid of releasing videos when I'm saying, I think we found the floor. Oh, geez. And to think I didn't go long this. I freaking don't go long because I just want to be right on the chart and I forget. All right, you guys. So those are essentially the targets that I'm looking at. Remember the best case scenario loading zone, $200 to about 192.72. That could be it right there, you guys. So very good stuff. Very good stuff for TSLA. So you got call options for February. Don't marry the date. Okay, so February 17th. Okay, so it's a high risk one, and obviously I'm assuming you're doing out of the money, right? With a high strike. So as long as you have good implied volatility, I guess, and a good gamma to it, ooh man, that thing could potentially rocket ship. I'm talking about creating a freaking. I'm talking about creating a $200 option into freaking $900 option. So, if it has good gamma, that is right. So and also watch out for your theta. Right, so as you have to make sure to include in the math how much you're losing per day of holding the security or the contract. Right, so that's how you know how much you're losing daily. So it would be your theta times 100 because 100 shares in the contract. Okay, so I'm sure you know it already or whatever. But if you don't, then that information, please utilize that. Mark Roach, Elon Musk said that. Let's see. Said for Tesla Investor Day, March 1st. Okay, so Master Plan 3, the path to fully sustainable energy future on Earth will be presented. So essentially pumping on news. That's really good stuff. You got put options to... That's a dang family. That's really... You're a little early. Because if there's going to be capitulation in the markets, it would essentially be upon the last day before the CPI read. So we could see weakness in the markets by the 13th. So if you do, man, and I'm honestly seeing upside for this, so be careful with those. It's only because we're facing upside in the immediate short term doesn't mean that your options are going to devalue. You know, I mean, it's a weird correlation between price and contract value. You bought them a month ago cheap. Okay, so you've been in them for a while. Okay. There's still some upside to go here. And like I said, for the next few days, I think that resistance touch could literally be like between the 217 to about 219-ish, right? So if we're facing the resistance there, then maybe if the put options haven't lost too much value by that point, if they're not like for example how Robinhood would show like they're worth $1 here, right? If they're not worth, or if they're not like super out of at a value, then you may start gaining value upon that downside from a few days. Okay, but I would really be careful with those options, because the upside here is sort of imminent. Johnny saying, quick, not financial advice question. You think February 17th AMC calls print this week or die worthless? The February 17th AMC calls are literally where everyone wants to buy, because they're pretty cheap. So if I were to trade options, I wouldn't do it for the 17th, because that's where the majority of the people are going to be at, and also the market maker can see that the majority people are there, so they're going to want to likely expire them worthless. So if you can extend that maybe a week or a month even, that could certainly help. And it's not to say that the options for the 17th won't go up. It's just that if you're going to long the options for the 17th, then I would wait for the pullback and try to gain entry when we're at about $4.72. Between 450 and 472 is when I would load those contracts, because then they would probably be worth a good amount. Just make sure that and obviously you're swinging these, so just make sure that you have low theta. Look at the Greeks on that, okay? So if you can get them to be like 0.001 or 0.002 or 3 like that, then you can multiply that times 100 shares of the contract and however many other ones you're going to get, and then you can imply how much you'll be losing for every day you hold the contract to the 17th. But if you're in the money before the 17th, I would highly consider liquidating the options, because what people are doing right now are not diamond handing. What people are doing are they're trading the ranges. Sebastian Lim, I'm in AMC calls for 17 February as well. Oh, dude. Okay, so there's downside coming in, but I'm expecting a bounce from about I just said it, 453-ish, 454, right, to about 471. We'll continue looking at this, Sebastian, and I want to make sure you don't lose, bro. So we'll see the potentials here. Let's go ahead and rate Cryptic Trader. You are not in AMC. I know you're not, guys. So Tesla has a very, very good possibility here. Remember loading zone, right? I'm literally thinking the loading zone, and it's very discretionary, okay, you guys? The lowest side of about $200 to about 203, right around there, before an upside, and that upside could actually present several percentage to the upside. What are we? Yeah, Tesla, we're getting already an A+ on the rating. Cryptic Trader giving me a B+ on the rating. Go ahead, chat. Let me know what you guys are thinking, because that's already great sentiment. And to be very honest with you, I'm just gonna rate it right now. I'm gonna tell you real quick that this is still, and it's very, very interesting that I would still honor my B-. Okay, and why minus, by the way? The minus is coming in because of CPI. Oh goodness, there's just so many whale games right now. So, but rest assured that when I'm looking at a B trade, I'm talking just B's in general, B-, B and B+. Those are usually when bankrolls are, higher. So betting a bigger bankroll here would absolutely be appropriate, right? Not financial advice. Please know that. Okay, Nick, A+++, wish me luck. Oh man, Tesla bulls. Oh goodness gracious. Dochery, is that how you say it? Dochery? What a great channel and charting. Just found this searching for analysis on the AMC news today. You're very charismatic. Oh, thank you so much. That means so much. I really appreciate you stopping by. It's already way late into the chat, right? So it's already the views are already dimmed to a minimum right now, but it's in respects to the late time, right? But I absolutely appreciate you for stopping by. Which reminds me, by the way, guys, if you're new to the channel, please make sure to hit that like button, right? Subscribe to the channel. So full port TSLA calls, huh? Robert, I would be very, very careful with your longs, right? So, and it's in respects to the CPI read. I would really consider taking a look. I mean, look at what happened today. The markets pumped in the pre-market, right? They pumped huge, and then they actually started capitulating later, which is in respects to this shooting star doji that we ended up getting today, right? So if we start to look at the shorter term time frame, then we can actually see that on a 4-hour period. Let's just take a look at the dates here. So the 9th, right? Okay. Yeah, so we can actually see that we were pumping and pumping and pumping, and then towards the later part of the day, we started capitulating, right? So it's massive games right now. And that's why I'm trying to provide the targets of potentially loading the lowest end, again, you guys, the lowest end would be $200, but there's a gap here on the 4-hour, which usually means that we tend to use these gaps as a support, not as a fill. Okay, so essentially what I'm saying is that the higher likelihood target to reload would potentially be around 204.77. Robert Tran, I actually do the ticker pickers live on Sunday, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. And then we rate the trade together, right, you guys? So thank you so much for asking, by the way. So yeah, guys, I think this is a B- for this ticker, and this absolutely has the power to make an upside continuation. So please watch your puts that you already have. Okay, if you are already negative on the puts, then set a tight stop loss, and I would not let them surpass the valuation of 213.95 if you are long puts, or if you're short the stock in all relevance, right? So please be very careful, as the upside is a little more imminent, in respects to the charts. So that's it for TSLA. So let's go ahead and now end. Mark, would you happen to know when I actually started the Tesla asset? So I'm ending it at 1141, and we're going to leave a long rating of, let's see, that was, I'm going to respect still my B-, right? It doesn't have to be my rating, guys. Take it with a grain of salt. Apply it to your strategy, and apply it to your charisma, your persona, your demeanor. See how you react to the available information, to the data being presented before us. Okay, so yeah, good news, better than the last night. Yeah, man, I hear that. So it's oh man, I don't even know. Dossier. Okay. Oh, nice. So big brain parents. I just finished charting NKLA yesterday. Look at it. Bought my first of 4 blocks today. What? So you're going, man, you must have given this an A. Before we're gonna start off BBBY, but let me just give a quick eyeball to that NKLA ticker. Let me just, I just want to see it because I'm curious, right? Big brain parents mean big brain kids mean big brain decisions later. All right, so on a daily, all right, breakout out of a descending channel, arguably a falling wedge, right? But overall, let's see. Wow, this is very steady price movement. And what's the cap on this? Let's see. That's right around, guys. This is right around my neighborhood. Okay, this is literally my preference in trading. Meaning, the market cap is a bit extended for me. I would honestly, $1 billion and $1 billion would be the max. Would be the max stat, right? But for me, I would prefer the market cap at about 500 mil with a float of about maximum 1 bill. But 300 million is almost 400 million is awesome. This is a safe ticker, and So just so you're clear on my strategy, because I like actually small caps. 11:22 for Tesla. Okay, thanks, dude. So 11:22 p.m. This is actually making me very curious, and this is still, it's actually following the ebb and flow of the market space thus far, and it's actually following candle analysis very nice too. So for example here, bearish engulfing realized to the downside, right? So it's following formation analysis nicely too. Let me see what it has, and I actually want to see if that channel was being respected as well, particular to this price action here. Let me see. So just like this right here. So and arguably starting at this candle, and then I can make an adjustment. Hold on just real quick. We're going to look at BBBY right after this. Yeah, this could be super discretionary here, right? I'm just doing it really fast, but we've only come back down one time to test the newly converted resistance into support. Geez, guys, honestly, if anybody's still watching right now, this is this has opportunity in it, and actually critical contraction on volatility. Very good. Okay, are we upside now? Okay. Okay. All right. Let me see the averages. This is setting up for something quite powerful, actually. Hold on. And let me look at the buy daily actually to see if there's any prior setup. Ooh, there it is. Okay, so this is actually trading on the 12 hour. So this would be the ideal time frame for NKLA. And I see it. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3 tests. So the resistance for breakout. Okay, test back to the resistance confirmation, and we're continuing. But what is it continuing to? The 12 hour is already converting the SMA 100 into a resistance, right? So if we're looking at volatility, meaning that we still have a little bit ways to go to the downside. If I look at RSI, it's probably going to tell me that we have a limited upside to 246 before a potential touch at about $2.30 before a continuation onto the upside, and likely to happen in about 2 or 3 days. But since we are starting to retrace, the weakness is already being shown here. Notice the kinks on momentum. We're starting to see the notch here, a notch here, and it's already losing the bear strength. Okay, so we need 2 steps here. Okay, first of all, from critical volatility within the 15th percentile of BBWP, we need both of the moving average and the volatility component up above the 15th percentile and pivoted towards the upside alongside momentum. K average and D percent pivoted towards the upside as well. Let's look historically to see how low this has gone before, right? So to its credibility, there has been a lot of reversals within the present area, right? But there's still space that it can go. It can still drop a few percent, from about 9 to about 3%, which would actually validate that 229 loading zone that I'm talking about. And then let me just see how many times. So for example, this last iteration did face a move to the upside, volatility versus momentum, right? So in this iteration, as soon as we crossed to the upside, an upside move was faced. This next iteration, oh my goodness, this was a failed iteration. Okay, we have another one here, actually did fulfill to the upside. Another one here fulfilled massively to the upside. There's something brewing in this, and there could be a massive move here. Another one to the upside. Critical volatility here, upside. Wow. Okay, so yeah, I would be very, very, very interested in making a back test here on the 12 hour, as there are several iterations, and I think there could be a total of maybe, I would say 30 iterations, or maybe 20, yeah, I would say about 20 to 30 iterations here, safely within the 30s, which is actually it's good enough to make a good bet, right, within this ticker. But statistics may actually show that this is getting prepped for want to just say it, you know, nonchalant like this, but this could be prepping for a macro move, and it could be soon. February 23rd earnings, it's coming. And please notice that every single earnings report has been a beat. The last miss it had was actually in 2020. So this is a very, thank you so much, by the way, for referring this ticker, but you are onto something for sure. And I'm not gonna deny this okay. So just real quick, right? So just for you. So I'm gonna have to make a whole other thing for this because I never really break the schedule like this. So the buy hourly suggesting downside, the 8 hour suggesting downside, validating that $2.32 loading zone that I'm telling you about. We're losing the bear daily still downside and the buy daily. Okay, so likely over the next week, this is going to be consolidating with a slight bearish movement, but very likely we can actually see a limited, look at the limited downside, okay, on your RSI 3-day. Okay, we have the support from not only the 14-day simple, but also from the gravitational zone. So 2 areas of support followed by an upside. Why am I certain of that? Because of the amount of times we've been using it as support. So we're looking at another touch of support before a continuation here. Okay, so I mean the probabilities are way in its favor. So for the upside, I mean, so this is very cool. This is very cool. But if you entered, then you may have been, and it's not bad. It's not bad because the move to the upside can very well be like into the hundreds of percent. But if you did enter now, it's a little aggressive, and you could still face a downside continuation, but the downside is very, 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 very limited. And I think we can actually, let's just connect it. Okay, let's just see. I want to see if okay, so 232 was my loading zone, right? 232, so that's landing right well within the golden mean, 1.618 and the 2.272, 1.272. So it's in a discretionary form. I was already giving you this target, and it's very much in line. So this would be likely the area to touch within the next day or two. Oh, wow. Okay, only a quarter position. So you're scaling in. Okay. That's also an aggressive thing to look at. If you're scaling in downward, it's a little dangerous, right? But it's safe because this thing, I do believe that it has some serious upside, and relatively soon. I would say within a week or so, right? So if we were to, I don't think it has the juice for this, or I don't think it has enough liquidity for this. But if it were to face a deeper area of loading, right, another demand zone, it would likely be between the 2.272 and the 2.618 in high relevance to the resistance conversion of support. Okay, so this area would maybe, but I'm giving this precedence. But good, very, 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 very good ticker. I really like what I see here, and this is absolutely in my style of trading. So and it has. I'm actually curious to see what the. I'm gonna have to make the math out of it myself, and I hate it. I actually don't have I have sort of big brain parents, I guess, but they're not as big as others for sure. But the average true range, I'm going to have to make the math out of this. But yeah, I suspected there was a pivot here. It looks like they're starting. It looks like the average true range is starting to load. The psychology behind this is starting to change. So we're starting to move to the upside. Is just essentially it's creating volatility, and it's literally contracted to a very. I don't like to show this too much, you guys, but I will bring it up here. This is actually my indicator, right? This is the, oh my goodness. This is the ARC Enhanced MACD. They're available to you guys. I'm just saying that I don't actually like to show this because they give easy answers, right? So I have merged, with Crypstex trading, I have merged volatility versus momentum in a single indicator, which is known as the Enhanced MACD, right? So this is giving you not only bull and bear signals, right, to tell you when it's going to go down or up. But this thing actually gave us a bear signal on the daily right at 281 before it capitulated. And what I'm trying to say here is that we're contracted, just like the contraction that we're facing here. And these bars here are showing us that we're printing critical volatility in the daily. So every single time there's a blue bar, there's a new blue bar printed. But this is the combination that I've actually developed with Crypstex, right? And this is showing us that we are in contraction, and this is likely going to expand and then contract again, literally just like this. We're going to expand, then contract again, and then expand. It's following an iterate. It's following. It's following a repetitive motion here. So, and it's very psychological. So volatility represented by the Bollinger Bands, and momentum represented by the MACD average alongside bull and bear signals. So there's still not a bull signal here. So I honestly suspect that after this momentum drop, when we revert to the mean, so the mean could literally be right around where I'm talking about. And that's right when this thing can actually pivot towards the upside. I'm happy that you brought this ticker in here because everything has been very stale, except for obviously Tesla. But I'm gonna rate Tesla, guys, at the B minus, and it's very aggressive of me to maintain that. But thank you so much. Thank you so much. And if I forgot, I'm sorry, Dosari, right? So thank you for referring this ticker, and this is a great opportunity for everyone. Okay, so chat, let's go ahead and dive in. Adrian, 5,000 at 21 on Tide. My goodness. Woof. Careful with that one, okay? Because the broader markets are a little weird right now. Okay, so let's rate the trade, you guys. Let's chat. Go ahead and dive in. D minus is your max loss for the day. My max loss is 4% before I suspend myself. Collecting and evaluating why it was a miss, right? So now, what would it be? And your D plus would be your break even, right? C plus is C minus, C plus would be risk involved, but also with a possibility of gain, right? So, and then you have your B's, which higher probabilities, less risk, and A's, just an extension of that, right? So you're looking at a C minus, Mark Roach. Cryptic Trader, is that a C? You're giving it a C? So this is very much up my alley right now. There's no way that we should gain an entry just yet, right? But the first entry could now that price action has already done what it's doing. It's a little more obvious, So the reloading zone, I'm favoring this 227 to 234, right? But the upside, I don't know where the upside is going to be, but the obvious targets are for sure going to be like 281 to about 298, and those are the obvious targets that I'm going to look at, right? So short term, but statistically, this may have a severe move to the upside, a pretty penny to the upside. Mark Roach, at 201, I give it an A. Nick, you're giving it a C plus. At 20, oof, yeah, man, that would be an incredible entry. I'm not gonna lie, that would be so good. Sebastian Lim giving it a B minus. The sentiment is very nice around it. I like it. So if I'm gonna be very, please remember, it doesn't have. The thing is that this is falling within my strategy. I personally like to trade small caps, like borderline small caps, right? So in this case, like, I'm gonna go ahead and leave a long rating here of a B plus. Okay, you guys, and that's I don't usually find these tickers like that, right? So B plus rating in my personal opinion, and B plus rating similar to how Mark Roach said. Okay, in my case, this is entry number 1. Entry number 2 would be right down here. Okay, so if you can make an actual touch all the way to 207 to 201, this would be outstanding, right? So that would be an outstanding entry for a crazy move. But please, if you guys are still watching the chat, if you guys are still watching me live, then let's go ahead and continue looking at this for the days to come, because then we'll evaluate how statistics are meeting versus the price action, right? So we want to verse price action with momentum and volatility, which would essentially show us the psychology behind it, which would in turn give us a validation for the upside or downside. So yeah, absolutely agree. 201 would be a ridiculous opportunity if it even has the liquidity to reach that level. Beso Amy, me too. Me too. So yeah, guys, this is a very, very unique opportunity here, and we're in the process of catching it early. Okay, so actually let me, that was the 12-hour that we're looking at, right? So the daily is in critical volatility. The buy daily is about to enter critical. Let me see the 8-hour. 8-hour just got out of critical. 6-hour just got out of critical. Bi-hourly, I'm sorry, 4-hour just got out of critical. Now bi-hourly just got out of critical. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is preparing something of a move soon. And it could likely, what I'm looking at is for this, okay, you guys, I'm going to show you a quick drawing, okay? So I'm just going to show you how I'm going to correct this, right? So we're essentially looking for this, okay? For volatility to make a move like this, right? And also we're looking for this to make a move similar to this, okay? So something along the lines of this is essentially what we're looking for. And this actually, with the aggression that it's facing, it may actually do it a little faster, right? So very, very discretionary way of showing you what I'm essentially looking for, but this is kind of what we need. We need an oval out of this. And that's how you'll know that this is making a pretty powerful something out of something. I don't think it'll break 220, but CPI volatility could if the overall, actually that's a good point. Let me bring up, let me see I'm going to be honest, I don't recognize the formation here, as this seems to be running on its own like even timeline. It's really interesting, because if you pair this with if you pair it with the SPY, which by the way, it seems to be like it's not actually, yeah, there is some correlation, right? And let me actually see. Okay, the correlation actually started, of course it started there. This was the start, arguably, right? This was the start of our bear cycle, November 2021. That's literally when BTC also started capitulating. So there is a correlation to price action. There was an inverse correlation here, but as of late, we have started that correlation over again. Please notice that, oh my goodness, I keep on forgetting. Please notice the pivots that we're facing right here. Okay, this is absolute correlation, and the smartest traders in the world actually find the correlation in pairs. So if we're looking at this correlation, then it's absolutely now running in sympathy to the markets based on the pressure that it faced over time. So yeah, this is the markets are showing a little bit of weakness, and this is showing a little bit of weakness. So yeah, this is still in play. And if we do continue that upside, oh my goodness, man, it depends on the statistics. I want to see what the statistics have to show. All right, but let me I really need to take a look at that ticker symbol BBBY as that one, guys. My goodness, isn't there like bankruptcy on that? That's a huge gamble. No prior higher high till this month. Yeah, so the important thing there is, in regards to that comment that you just made, is that it's already broken market structure. And if we're looking at, I'm talking about the lower, the lower high iterations, this being the last one, we broke that structure. So market structure has already been broken. So likely this can face some downside, followed by a little bit of sideways trading for some days, and then create an upside. WKHS for the next time. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Let me go ahead and put it down right now. JDXL. And that's going to be, what did you say? What was the ticker? Sorry. WKHS. Okay. Yeah, not a problem, man. WKHS. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, good stuff here. And officially ending it at a, it was supposed to be a quick look, right? Got super trapped in this one. So we have officially ending this at a 12:04. Yeah, no, not a problem. Thank you. So 12:04 p.m. and that was NKLA. Man, huge opportunities here, you guys. And this was a long rating of B+, right? So cool. Oh my goodness. Okay, you guys, let's move on to ticker symbol BBBY. And we're going to start that one off with, let's see. Yeah, my goodness, my mouse is actually running out of battery. That's why I did that silly move. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, let's start off a new chart for BBBY. And this one has been pumping to the upside in a really weird fashion, right? But I think that it was facing bankruptcy or something. I'm not sure if that's still the case, right? But like always, guys, let's look at the daily and let's officially start BBBY. And what time is it now? It's 12:05. Okay, so 12:05. And here we go. This is the last ticker for the night, guys. And let's go ahead and take a look at it. Let's see what we got. Let's see what kind of magic we can make out of this, because this is, man, this is huge price action. Why would it even do this? It was actually suggesting downside, and then out of nowhere it popped up. There's news on it. Oh, look at this. Look at this. How do we have we have a 4.20% surprise, okay? Minus 55 million. Oh my goodness. And then we pump to the upside? Guys, this is what I'm talking about by not trading earnings, okay? It's not like the old days, okay? It's not like the old days to where you can say that on positive earnings, positive price action. How do we get a huge earnings miss like this and then pump to the upside like that? You know there's something up. That's not supposed to happen, but let's see. Let's just load our moving averages and take a look at this stuff. Yeah, right? It's supposed to be facing bankruptcy. But, okay, so the daily has already converted. We faced a resistance, first of all, of the 200 SMA. And everything has been converted into resistance. And now we're starting to validate the SMA 10, or the SMA 50, alongside the SMA 10, by the way, as a form of resistance. Okay, so now this can likely be a guide to the downside. Okay, so let me see what it looks like on a higher term time frame. I want to see these candles. Oh, there it is. Okay, so this is a huge loss of strength. Okay, arguably, because it's on a downtrend, this can be an upside continuation, but oh goodness gracious, if this continues to the downside and prints in 4 days, this is historic freaking bearish engulfing. Okay, so if it happens, I'm not saying it will, if it happens, this can lead to the downside aggressively. What, Amy? So a rumor has it that they're finding funding and not going under. Wow, very interesting. Look at this candle. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. That's just ridiculous. That's crazy. Let me see the macro perspective. Okay, so on the macro perspective, we have 12 days and 51 hours. There's still man, okay. I'm getting huge mixed emotions on this, because this actually may present, it's already in a macro perspective, it's already making higher highs and higher lows. Okay, so it's already scary. and it also looks like it's trying to make a like a macro scale channel of sorts, or break out of it, right? So in this perspective, and it could honestly be viewable maybe in the 5-day. There it is. So it could very likely be something like this, right? I'm just super discretion here, guys. Remember, it's not always like this. There we go. So this is essentially the channel that we're looking at, and this would be test number 1. I think that was a fake out. Test number 2 and oh god, guys, if this is test number 3 for real on the 5-day, then this candle is the confirmation before a huge capitulation. But I've been wrong with this one a lot, okay? Because this one is just so psychologically driven, okay? Burry tweeted about BBBY. He's short. Oh my goodness. He would be. And I'm telling you that this is the confirmation for like the huge downside. This being the 3rd test of the resistance and the 1 for capitulation. Okay, but hold on. Let's continue validating. Let's pull up momentum. And I'm not gonna just to kind of get things out of the way faster. Let me see what Enhanced MACD is saying on a daily. I want to see if there. Okay, so Enhanced MACD volatility versus momentum is giving us a bear signal, and we're already on a downtrend. Okay, and it is arguably coming out of a contractive zone, but now expansion has started a little bit, and looks like we're contracting again while facing a downside. Okay, so daily RSI suggesting some sideways trading, which is very much in respects to the spinning top doji. I would really like the candle to be a little, the body to be a little smaller to be considered a spinning top, but still, it's still a tie between the bears and the bulls, to say the very least. Reddit YOLO for yo-yos. Oh no, I hope not. But Sebastian Lim, brave to have 20,000 shares of a company that's going to be bankrupt. Well, Amy's saying that there's potentially rumor that they're finding the funding, my bro, and they actually may not go under. So another thing that we should take a look at regarding the daily RSI is that there's already a drive of hidden bearish divergence printing out pretty largely. Okay, so this is the divergence is the opposition of price action versus momentum, and in this case momentum RSI. So we have a huge drive printed already, and it looks like it was in play. Yeah, so it's new. They're showing that they're avoiding bankruptcy. Wow, very cool stuff. I wouldn't consider this to be a drive of anything just yet, particular to maybe here, where we're making a drive of bullish divergence, meaning that if we were to take into account this pivot to whatever this pivot looks like, it's not confirmed yet, meaning price action would then make a low. Yeah, there we go. So this would be a drive, but it doesn't look confirmed just yet of regular bullish divergence. So, and rumor is, so they're going to buy it? Wow. So rumor, right? So could this be just price action on, buy the rumor, sell the news, or whatever that is? Sell the news, buy the whatever. I don't really believe in any of that stuff, to tell you the truth, guys. I'm primary mathematical, or systematic. So I don't usually look at fundamental metrics whatsoever, as I don't find it to pertain to a shorter time frame trades like I am. I'm a short-term trader, so fundamentals don't usually play into the price action for my time frame preference. But let me see the 30-minute on this. So for immediate short-term, let's see what it's got to say. Immediate short-term consolidation. Bi-hourly is showing consolidation. What? 6 hours showing consolidation. Slightly bearish, but consolidation nonetheless. There's my little guy again. Consolidation on the 12-hour? What? Slightly bearish consolidation on the daily. And here's the cross. Okay, so here's where we're starting that downside. I know we should never trust these pivots, right? And I'm saying we shouldn't trust them to the upside because they tend to fail, meaning that it would go down, right? So we're already making a cross below that 14-day simple moving average. And let's look at the 3-day. So likely, yeah, I was about to say likely to the downside. So this is showing us that it could be a short-term bounce, which is very likely to face a bounce from, I would say, the wick low of this candle here being at about $2.10, and the closing of this candle which is $2.07. So likely we can find a bounce from here. And that is in respects to finding a bounce to, I don't know that we can actually come all the way back up to 304 from the $2.04 because that's too high of a target for us to validate the newly converted support into resistance. In this case, we've already actually done that on the 3-day iteration. We've already come back up and tested it and failed it. So this is in the process of making a continuation to the downside. Let's see the 5-day. And the 5-day is showing it's consolidation still, but downside. And the reason why I say this is because we need an aggressive pivot like this one in order to validate a for sure downside. I'm talking about 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now. Because this can actually face, with this very, very weak downside pivot, we can face a support from the gravitational zone of the the bear strength percentile, right? So we'll face a touch of that and then also get rejected by the gravitational zone. And then this can likely start what's happening here. We can likely start this consolidation period. And it's likely to wait until the news, whatever happens, right? So now it's pensive. It looks like it already priced it in, and now it's just going to do whatever it's going to do. Okay, you guys, so the BBBY is something that I wouldn't suggest for anyone to long just yet. So is it Icon? Is that what it's called? Icon, like ICON, but spelled with a CAHN? Filed for Chapter 11 on February 1st. Wow, so they filed for that Chapter 11 bankruptcy, and man, my goodness. Interesting, very interesting stuff. So yeah, you guys, I think BBBY is more of a psychological play, and it's pending news. So if whatever happens fundamentally launches, then this would essentially rocket ship towards the upside, but there's nothing suggesting it yet in the charts. And in fact, that upside, that launching of it may have already played out. In fact, I'm favoring the downside for this. And the long term, I'm talking maybe, let's see, the weekly showing this continuation to the downside shows limited, but that limited downside, the space between the RSI signal and the 14-day, could very likely be to this area, to 91 cents. So please be careful. Mark Roach, I couldn't agree more. And now George T saying if Carl Icahn purchase BBY, it's going $50 easy. I agree. And that's why I'm saying that it could likely be pending the news. So just looked at BBBY. If you all see confirmation at $10, then $15 would be, careful. Okay, so wait for confirmation. I would honestly wait for the confirmation, guys. This looks pensive, and it looks like it's just pending that the company's. I mean, that's a huge acquisition. So, or whatever is going to happen, right? So, I mean, if it does, then that would essentially mean that BBBY would be set for the next freaking 20 years. So this would likely, the sentiment overall would likely price this and then value it to where it's truly supposed to be valued after a massive run to the upside, right? So this thing could likely, we could over exaggerate the valuation of this upon that news, meaning that if the expectations are for it to reach around $50, then yeah, sure, it'll reach the $50, but eventually it'll come back down to a fair evaluation or a mean of about 19 to $15 or something, right? Or who knows? I'm just saying that that's typically how things end up happening, and it also depends on what cycle we're in. Meaning if we're in a recessionary period or if we're in a bull cycle, like what's happening in the macroeconomic space as well. Are we in war or what is it? So we have to keep an eye on all of those things too in order for us to kind of understand the probabilities of price action in this sense. And very interesting thing here is actually on the weekly, this had a broadening descending wedge. Actually, I would like to touch on this real quick. And the breakout, wow, the breakout actually ended up, let me see. This is a weekly trend. This is insane. Let me see. My goodness, this is actually, it actually could have been, yeah, this, no way. Could it actually take us all the way to 2015? Are you serious? That's ridiculous. Okay, so yeah, it actually is that. So, what? Wow, that's very, very interesting. Oh my goodness, it's perfect. Okay, so so this formation. I'm not sure that I would actually take it that far. Maybe even is that the beginning of it? Could it be? And alongside, yeah. Oh wow, that is it. Okay, got it. I see it. The contact points are very. I mean, this is weekly, and it's taking years to fulfill, right? So the contact points, right, starting from here, this. Oh man, this. And starting here. So please notice what is happening right now. This is absolutely following the golden rules here. So the take profit for this formation is the genesis of, how to trade this. Look at the take profit right up there. Oh man. So the way you trade a broadening descending wedge is that you wait. You literally wait for the price to move to the upside. This was that huge pump where everybody was just so bullish on this, but of course, nobody was looking at the weekly and noticing that this thing was just making a traditional play to the upside and creating that huge trap there. This is, everything plays this. Everything plays this just likely. No one really sees this formation. Yeah, 10 freaking years. Oh my goodness. So yeah, it's look, if we extend these the bull line, let me see. Let me see if I can touch it, if I can just get closer to it, which I think it's actually here, right? So if we extend it and then start meeting, I'm sorry, I think I missed it. Oh, there it is. Got it. Wow, there's so many tiny iterations here. And let me try to respect this as best as I can. Look at that. Oh my goodness. It just to show you how well this is connected and how, my goodness, that is truly insane. That is ridiculous. It's funny how price moves, right? And also the rejection from it, because we're not supposed to be breaking out of this already broken out of broadening descending wedge. Oh man, this is a really, actually guys, I'm really happy that we saw the BBBY ticker, because this is a true lesson. This is really viable information and very valuable information. Sorry. And it shows in the charts and it's following the trends very nicely, right? Creating massive losses, right? But so Lambo in 2035 for this one. Those three. If you like macro long-term charts, look at BB. It's insane. What's BB? Is that another one of those? Is that a ETF? I'm actually not familiar with BB. Oh man, very cool. Very cool. BlackBerry? I haven't thought about that since like '98. Oh my goodness. Oh goodness gracious. Oh yeah, this one requires like a monthly or even a bi-weekly. Let me see what the monthly looks like. Very curious. And this is a huge scale broadening descending wedge as well, right? So, and it's actually following the trend pretty nicely too. I would think that this would actually have, there it is, the correlation between this and this here. And if we're talking monthly here, this is barely of, yeah. So the reason why, if we're talking technicals, if we're talking just the rudimentary things of rules of a formation like this one in trading, right? So I'm talking about this contact point, this one, all this here and this here. So it's better like this. So if it already actually, it's funny because it already actually met its overall target, but it was a huge bull trap, and the reason why this is likely facing this huge capitulation is not only because of whatever happened in the macro, right? Because this is July. It's already June, July, mid 2021 into the recession, right? So, and we're building another broadening descending wedge right down here, which could be essentially prepping for an upside based on macroeconomic feelings and whatever else, right? So this capitulated not only because of that, but also because it's 1, 2, and 3 The third test is always the one, you know? So golden rule of three there. It's literally playing out. So if you're starting to, diminish the time frames, then you start to see the other, macroeconomic possibility. And that would be the broadening descending wedge on maybe the weekly or even a 5-day. Okay. So that's it's just doing it again and potentially prepping for an upside. Who knows? And if I'm being very messy here, but if we're looking at test number, this could be arguably test number 1, right? Test number 1, 2, we have 3, fake out 4. So if we're on number 4 right here, that means that we're essentially going to break out and then continue on to the upside. So it's meeting psychology. What I'm saying is that this is. It's moving right along the path of the broader markets. It's just showing, right? It's almost clear as day, and very interesting price action here. And the fact that here you go. I just wanted to show you this real fast. There. So here's the correlation. The zigzags happening with the broadening descending wedge. From a weekly perspective or a 5-day. So. Oh my goodness, looking back further, geez, huge inverse correlation here, actually. And starting from 1999, here is actually that bubble, right? It actually bursted. And yeah, on IPO, this thing did rocket ship to the upside. And if you're looking at, let's see, let me block the visibility. I thought I saw something, but I'm not sure that I'm actually seeing it. I mean, there is a broad trend line here, and it's looking like it actually could be respected even still regarding these. I'm talking macro perspective is making a series of higher lows, right? So, and arguably, I mean, it's a break of market structure here if we don't consider that to be a higher high, but this. I mean, if we face a bull cycle soon, then I guess this does have the potential to continue on to the upside. I see it. I do. So it's actually an ascending channel. But the thing is here is that I'm not sure that it can face that. I'm not sure that it can. I have to know what's going to happen in the future, like in the like us. I want to know like where we're going to be in order for us to imply that, right? So, but yeah, the charts are suggesting that nonetheless. This is very cool. But guys, I'm going to have to... Docheri, who are you? Why are you not already famous from guessing all these awesome tickers, right? So I would love to see you here more often. Are you on the East Coast or are you in the West Coast? So we got to actually not rate BBBY whatsoever. All right, because that one could be very dangerous. Okay, you guys? So I actually do need to call it a cybersecurity pivot. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I know. Actually, a lot of people have been talking about it. I totally see it. Oh man, and also including AI and stuff because of the whole everybody getting crazy with Chat GPT and also with ARDS. I think it was. I forgot which one it was. It's gonna compete against that. So. Oh, okay. So you're in the middle. So what time is it there? It's like 3 a.m. Is it 2? I'm still going to be streaming around these times, but just remember, you guys, my schedule for streaming is usually Sunday, Mondays, and Wednesdays and Thursdays. Okay, you guys. So that's when I tend to stream. So it's 2:27. Oh, okay. All right. So it's not absolutely horrendous, right? But still, we still have to be up for that trading session. But you guys, I honestly think that this was other than having so many stale tickers. This was a very, very awesome live stream. I think very valuable for the people who consider to rewatch it tomorrow, right? So, guys, I'm going to have to cut the stream here and just know that I care about all of you and I really appreciate everybody for stopping by tonight. But please go ahead and refer to the links in the description below if you would like to. You're very good. I'll subscribe. Thank you so much. That means so much coming from a person like you who obviously seems that they're very well seasoned in market structures, right? Adrian, Appreciate it, Arca. I appreciate you, my dude. Thank you so much, you guys. Again, please go ahead and refer to the links in the description below if you would like to join. And my moderators, thank you so much. Moderator Mark Roach. I'm not sure if DJ's still around there, but good night to everybody. Please be well, be safe. Beso Amy, love you, take care. Mark Roach, love you, buddy. JDXL, not a problem, you guys. Please be safe, be well, and we'll talk soon, okay? Goodbye.